Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
If you really want to be one of the best brewers there is,
I stopped dressing all in plastic.
You better be brewing 5 to 6 times a week.
Every beer is made with love, and it begs to be appreciated.
I need something to kill the salmonella I'm kind of worried about in the eggs.
Do you find that that the hops kind of clash with the chicken embryo you put in there?
I might sleep here tonight.
It's a California King. There's plenty of room for both of us, Beavis.
How many of the brewers over there have seen your ass?
That's it. Someone's getting cut tonight.
All I have to say is, hey, McDowell, how you doing?
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to The Session, live here from the Hop Grenade in downtown Concord, California. Land of the free. Home of lots of homeless people, but less homeless people than in Martinez.
That's true.
So we got that going for us.
I have a really fun story from Martinez.
Yeah?
Yeah, just recently my in-laws took Abby to a park out there. They were out by the water, which is close to where our old studio was, and as they're walking, my mother-in-law, who is just the sweetest, most timid little lady.
Yeah.
She's walking by, and my father-in-law's pushing Abby in the stroller, and they're walking by, and she looks over at her husband and is like, is that man naked? There was a butt-naked man laying on a park bench.
Sorry about that.
Directly across the street from a child's park.
Right. Oh, man.
They had to call the police.
Was he homeless, or was he just
sunning himself?
You know what? He apparently he oversaw he saw them talking about him with somebody else in the park, and like he kind of like knew something was up, and so he proceeded to stand up, get dressed, and walk away.
Wow. Interesting.
And like he didn't look homeless, so when my father-in-law called the police, they kind of were just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's just Jerry, you know?
It's Jerry.
What about him didn't look homeless? The fact that he was naked on a bench?
Well,
his clothing apparently did not come across.
That's what I mean. Like, I was more worried that he was a creeper than a homeless guy. Like,
yeah,
he
I
could have
think
just
he was
been,
just a full-blown creeper, like
putting his wiener through the cracks in the bench.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Taking a break from Starbucks.
There was like a video
terrible.
on Facebook this week of a guy going through TSA, going through security at the airport, who got upset because they kept making him take off different articles of clothing. So finally he was like, all right, F it. Took everything off. Went through the metal detector completely naked. While the cops, they all just stood there looking, the TSA and the police. I mean, he was kind of doing what they asked him to do.
Yeah.
He just sort of aggressively ripped off his clothes, threw them all through the metal detector, walked through or all through the conveyor belt, walked through the metal detector. Pretty sure he opened a cheek as he did
when he bent over to put his socks on, he was taking pictures.
I wish I had balls like that. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, not that I saw his balls, but, you know, the gumption is what I meant.
Yes. No, the figuratively, right.
Yeah. But I thought
have bigger balls can hurt either.
No, that's true. Well, we got a great show for you today. Lots to do as well. We got a busy one. But new Helvetia Brewing Company is on the program with us today from Sacramento. They're going to be in the studio. We've got their beer on tap here at the Hop Grenade. Plus, I believe they brought some others down for us to sample. We're going to talk a little bit about Sacramento Beer Week and learn all about new Helvetia, which I think we're going to find is pretty exciting for homebrewers. They have a bit of a Frankenstein brew system up there that they put together to brew some great beer, and we'll get to talk about that kind of good stuff. Plus, we're going to talk to Troels Prahl from White Labs.
Oh.
Good old Troels.
My friend.
I love this kid from Denmark. And they've got a big announcement at White Labs. So Troels is going to come on at the end of the program and talk to us about that.
Is Troels getting his green card?
I don't think that's
too bad.
Yeah, I think he got it and they revoked it already. So
you are too handsome to be in this country. Get out. Leave.
But they announced their new location. They're building a new location in North Carolina as well, a new White Labs facility, a big facility out there, so that they can help get fresh yeast all across the country.
That's amazing.
So another big announcement tonight from White Labs. So we'll be talking to Trolls a bit later.
When are we building our second satellite studio in North Carolina? North Carolina, or as I like to call it, North Cackalack. They seem to be getting all the beer attention. We don't want to be late to the party. Or
I agree.
Do we find the new location, like North Dakota? The BN is coming for you.
Follow us to North Dakota, everybody. Trust me, we're visionary.
Yes, we figured out the podcast. Now we're going to figure out
North Dakota
things.
We're going to figure out ice.
Yeah, I like flat stretches of icy road.
Yeah. Dominated podcast. Now we're going to dominate moose.
You're right.
Mooses.
That's right.
Moose?
Yeah.
Moose-eye?
No one ever knows that.
Meese.
It's not. What is it really, Moscow? You must know. What is the plural of moose?
It's moose.
I think it's moose.
Yeah.
This
just
sounds
moose.
weird. Anyway.
It's like fish.
All right, so we're going to have Dave Gull on the program. He's the founder of New Helvetia Brewing Company, and we're going to talk beer with them today. I've got some BN information for you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was in San Diego last week and finalized the date and location of BNA 10.
Oh.
It's actually it's a 10-20-20 party because we're turning 10. White Labs is turning 20, and More Beer's turning 20, and we're all partying together on Wednesday, June 10th. And we've secured our location. It's the Broadway Pier, right in downtown San Diego, right at the Maritime Museum. We were looking at the Maritime Museum itself because it has the tall ships that you can use. But there's too many of us. We couldn't fit. So it turns out there's a pier right smack in the middle, and we're renting the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
It's an indoor-outdoor facility, so we're going to be able to hang out on the water, put our stage up out there on the water, and really party in San Diego.
Sounds great.
Could we go fishing?
No
off
fishing off the pier. I was there, and I saw a sign specifically that said...
That's too bad.
I'm also concerned because the pier itself at the water's edge doesn't have any kind of barrier at all.
Is this a life jacket required event?
I feel like it might have to be because all there is like
especially with our crew,
like a curb to trip over and then fall into the water.
At least you're going ahead first.
Yeah. Do they know that we're serving beer?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like we have to bring in a perimeter because we know us,
right,
and our people.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's safe. So we're gonna.
One of our crew is half blind. So either what he needs. Oh, we should get Warren a cane.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That'd be amazing.
In a related
Or a
story,
dog.
I may or may not have one of those.
A cane?
Yeah.
I see.
I'm married to Sam.
That's true.
Yeah.
So BNA 10, in fact, you can go to BNA10.com. There's not much info there now, but that's where you stay tuned. But I'm telling you, save the date. It's Wednesday, June 10th, and we're doing this thing. We're going big. It's our 10th anniversary, and we want to party like it's our 10th anniversary. So get ready for that. Fly in early. Of course, the conference starts on Thursday, so come in early so you can be with us on the Wednesday night.
Are they bringing back Pro Night this year?
I think so. I should know this because I'm on the governing committee, but...
Proof that you don't really have to do anything to be on the governing committee.
Well, it's that in this case, it's not really my fault. I'm always confused by the message in the last 2 years.
What's the Bill Clinton, you have one thumb on one knuckle and you're just gesturing.
Just wagging my knuckle hand.
I'll have you know that this is not my fault. It's my predecessor's fault.
That's right. Yes, they're bringing back Pro Night, but I don't know in what format. But I know that they basically told me, go ahead and move the party back to Wednesday because there will be a pro something or other on Thursday.
Okay.
That's all I know for now. I'll let you more. I'll let you know more as I know.
Please let us
more you know.
Yes.
How about that? All right. I've told you about the Blue Bonnet Brew Off. I'm this year's keynote speaker, which is very exciting for somebody.
For you?
I'm sure.
Not even for you, probably. You're like, God damn it.
Actually, I'm looking forward to it because I hear this one's a real party. I hear these Texans know how to party.
Just send me in your stead. I'll just do it. I'll do, and then when I'm
put on a Jesus outfit and say, "Hey, it's Justin,"
and then just stand there. And then halfway through, you come in half naked, duct taped. You're like, "This is you. What are you doing?"
I'm like just barely running in with my feet tied together. That's not a bad idea.
Thank you.
Well, myself and Nathan Smith, and now just announced Tasty McDole will be at the Blue
yeah.
Bonnet Brew-Off this year.
The trifecta.
That's right. You can go to bluebonnetbrewoff.org right now and check it out. You can still get tickets, I do believe. And it's the 19th and the 20th, or maybe it's the 20th and the 20th. I don't know. I get there on the 19th. That's
Friday
what I
and
know.
Saturday.
So it's 20th and 21st then.
I hope you're talking about marketing and how to do that properly, because you're good at it.
That's what they want me for. They're like, talk about what you know. All right. So you want to talk about drinking then?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
I like Pale 31.
Yeah. And Burning Man.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll see you next year.
Thank you. Seattle.
Well, that's why they're bringing Nate Smith. He's doing the technical talk, and I think they're bringing Tasty just because he's more fun than we are. So
I'll be doing something.
Good. So we're looking forward to that. Go to bluebonnetbrewoff.org and check it out.
And you get to meet me.
All right. Also, I've been telling you about our BN Club collaboration between the Brewing Network Club and Quaff.
Yeah.
We didn't get too many. I'm waiting for the answer from Quaff. I sent out an email today. We didn't get too many responses from BNers to brew down in San Diego this weekend. It was going to be this Saturday. What we did get is a lot of responses from BNers and Quaff members for March 7th at Heretic. So I do think we're going to do the March 7th brew day. As of now, the 28th is a little bit up in the air down in San Diego. But I should know more, hopefully by tomorrow when Quaff gets a hold of me about it. But if you're still interested, there's a sign-up sheet. Just send me an email, justin@thebrewingnetwork.com. We're doing it Saturday, March 7th at Heretic. We need more BNers and more quaffers if you're interested. And then potentially this Saturday, although that one's really kind of up in the air at this point. So just send me an email, justin@thebrewingnetwork.com.
I'll be down there Sunday. That's why I couldn't go down there.
Are you going to be
I'm going to be in Lancaster Saturday night, so I couldn't really make it all the way down to San Diego. But I'm excited for March 7th. I'm going to bring my Pico Brew.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like you should team up with Jamil as he's the Quaff member, because you two are like, it's the perfect lazy brew day for you guys.
Well, in collaborations, he doesn't do anything anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I think that he should be the Quaff rep and you the BN Club rep.
I would totally do it.
And it's just you yokels standing around the beautiful Pico Brew.
Yeah.
You're like, and our brew day has begun. You
Right.
pushed a button.
Jamil, come on. You're going to buy me pints at the tasting room.
The tasting room.
Yeah.
You guys come out 2 hours later, and we're done.
Yeah. Now we're cooling.
While
Let's
the
go.
rest of us are slaving over our brew
heating
systems.
mash tun water.
And they'll just dump the yeast in the keg and just let it sit in the brewery at room temperature.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, send me an email, justin@thebrewingnetwork.com. I also got to let you know that More Beer, our good friends More Beer, they're the sponsor of this show and every session that we do, and they have been since the beginning. Go to morebeer.com and check them out. And another reason to go to morebeer.com right now, when you go, you click on the big image right there on the homepage so that you can win a trip to the National Homebrewers Conference. Also, tickets to BNA 10 come with the prize. So go there now. All you got to do is click that image, fill out the form. You can do it once a day until April 15th, and they're going to pick a winner. They're going to fly you to the conference. They're giving you a full conference pass. They're putting you up in a hotel. You get VIP tickets to BNA 10, and all you got to do is fill out a little form. So
100 times.
Go to morebeer.com right now and check it out. Good people over there at More Beer. It's a great giveaway. All right. You can support us by shopping on Amazon. Just click the Amazon link at the homepage. Amazon part of the week.
The Grave Before Shave Beard Oil in Bay Rum Scent. It's a 1 ounce dropper bottle. Amazing Bay Rum Scent with coconut afternotes. Keeps the beard shiny and healthy. Conditions the beard and mustache. Treats the skin underneath the beard and keeps it free from itchiness and beard rough.
Wow.
Did you buy this beard?
That wasn't me.
What?
Do I smell like coconut?
Yeah, do you smell like a pina colada?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he hasn't used it yet.
It's on the way.
I started using beard oil recently.
For what?
It's kind of my nether region.
Oh,
No.
nice.
Yeah,
What?
no, just for my little beard.
Gotta oil it
Oh
down.
my god, I thought you were
Sort of
serious.
oil.
I was like,
Yeah.
this will be the second time I've said today I need to work with more women.
Me too.
That would be a class action lawsuit.
That's right.
You don't even have enough room to. Nothing is longer than a
I know.
centimeter.
It's not for the beard hair. It's for my. I've been getting flaky skin under the beard.
Yeah, the beard drift.
and
Yeah,
nothing.
I get that.
The beard drift, and nothing's working. So I was like, well, let me try some of this beard oil. It's called like Tree Hugger or something. I don't know.
Of course
what.
it is.
And it's made of a bunch of trees or something.
Yeah.
Oh. Cedar and
You're
I
a
don't know
dude.
what.
Kills trees for it.
Yeah. Well, what? Hey, as long as I look good.
right.
Did you get it at Home Depot? Is it just
Yeah,
wood stain.
It's
wood
actually
oil.
it's deck treatment.
Right. People call me a big deck all the time, and I don't get it, but I figured I should treat myself. You should just try like lotion.
Well, wait a minute.
I do that too.
Oh, really?
I'm using the combo, both.
Yeah.
Do you wash your face with soap?
Yeah.
So you strip the oil away, and then you buy oil to put back on? Why don't you just stop using the soap on your face?
It doesn't work. I've tried that too. I know that's everybody. That's what everybody always says. Don't wash your hair. Don't let your oil.
Yeah.
No, the oil doesn't do it. My
Really?
facial oil doesn't do the trick.
How long do you give it? Because your skin's got to get back used to not having soap every day.
So I got to go through the flaky mess period and let it come. No, that's homeless.
Yeah, what are you,
then
a
I'm
lizard?
Like, yeah.
No, you don't need to do
and
that.
I look like I'm homeless looking enough as it is.
Even more homeless than when you were nude in Martinez?
Yes, more than that.
Oh, my.
So,
okay, fine.
I don't know. The oil seems to be working.
The beard oil does work.
Thank you.
For me also.
See? And Beardy has a beard.
Yeah.
So
That's why they call him Beard.
I'm not even convinced that there's skin underneath Warren's beard.
Well, there might not be anymore. That's true.
Well, whoever bought it spent $12.99, and we got $1.04. So thanks for using the link.
Thanks for supporting us. All right. You can also subscribe and join the BN Army. Becoming a recurring donor puts you in the raffle to win $100 to More Beer. Every month we draw a name. And it's a gift certificate to More Beer. You can get a lot of stuff for $100 over at More Beer. So just hit the donate button on the homepage, become a recurring donor, and we love you for it. Get all these updates and more over on Twitter and... send your show ideas to Scott the Jew. That's Scott at thebrewingnetwork.com. And send feedback over to feedback at thebrewingnetwork.com. Normally at this time in the program we would be doing feedback, but not today because it's election time again at the American Homebrewers Association, the governing committee. We do this every year.
Yeah,
a couple of two-tree chairs open up every year, and it's that time again. And we're going to be interviewing our governing committee candidates today. How fun is that?
I love it.
It's a lot of fun, right? We didn't get to do it last time around because there were too many candidates last year. There was something like 15 or 20. I don't know how many. There's a million candidates.
Wow.
So we're back at it this year. It's manageable. We're going to talk to 3 of them tonight. Right now, and then 2 every week until election time.
Are we under the FCC equal time rules? Is that what?
I am paying attention to the equal time rules. I will be doing my best to fit into that. Yes.
Okay.
So each candidate tonight gets 10 minutes.
Wow.
And,
all right.
Yeah, I'm sure that I've got my stopwatch ready.
Sure, I can see it right now.
Yeah.
Now, while we speak with them, I'm passing around last week's guest. Kelly Taylor's beer. These are Kelso Beer Company beers that finally came on Saturday. So
God bless the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. We'll be drinking the Pilsner, the Nut Brown Lager, and what do you got there, Beardy?
The IPA.
All right.
Excellent. Cool. All right, we'll pour that.
He should have sent more beer. It's just a 12.
Yeah, he only sent 3 cans.
What's the deal?
What a jerk.
He sent a truckload. It's parked at Scott's house.
Right, yeah. These cans are nicely seamed.
When's that kegger you're
Where's that Rare Barrel beer, by the way?
You mean one of each one they ever
one
made?
of each and we'll never see? Yeah.
All right, our
the picture was for.
Our first candidate tonight is Mr. Michael Fry. Michael, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for being on the program with us.
Thank you.
Now, Michael is running for one of the seats on the governing committee.
Yeah.
Michael, should you succeed, you will get to share a table with me, sir.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like break bread? Or...
You might want a second... Yeah,
Was that part of the deal?
Yeah, you're not thinking it over, aren't you? So, Michael, you are running for the governing committee. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your history in home brewing, and then why you'll be an asset to the committee, please.
Sure. So I started homebrewing about 5-6 years ago. I've been in the hobby. I'm prior military, so when I retired after about 26 years in the Navy, I kind of turned it up a notch, as you would say. And I really got into the hobby. I actually attended NHC in Philadelphia a couple of years ago and sat in on, you guys do a general governing committee open to the public. And I don't know, it just kind of sparked a bug within me, and I just felt like instead of sitting on the sidelines, I wanted to be a part of the solution instead of, complaining on message boards. So that's kind of what brought me to here.
It's very different of you in the homebrew and internet world.
Yeah. So you want to make a difference, actually.
Yeah,
that's just complaining about it.
Yeah, so that's the open meeting for all AHA members. It's the members meeting that happens at the national conference every year. And just because you brought it up, Michael, I do want to encourage all AHA members, when you go to the conference, it is important that you sit in on these because you get to have a say, you get to ask questions. We had a pretty lively session this last year, and I found it very interesting. So,
yeah, no, I loved it. In fact, that was part of the banner back and forth, and I had a couple of suggestions which were listened to by the committee, and I felt like, wow, me as a home brewer, I kind of had a voice, and then that kind of, brought it into the next level of like, hey, I'd like to be kind of one of those people that helps make that change happen.
Sure. And there's lots of stuff that we could use help with, right? So I assume, want to get involved with that.
I do. And in fact, I'm on the subcommittee to hopefully get clubs up and running. I think that's one of the areas that's booming within the hobby. As clubs are expanding and growing, I feel that all the clubs do the same things, whether it's fundraising or events and so forth. And so maybe we can kind of centralize and have some sort of, one-stop shopping of like, hey, we're all trying to raise money or we're all trying to do things for the community, and every club is doing the same thing, and we could kind of share ideas and kind of collaborate on that.
Great ideas. Yep, the club subcommittee does need help. I think you're right. Clubs need more support in general as the hobby grows. And you're part of other organizations in homebrewing right now, too, aren't you?
I do. So I'm originally from Arizona. In fact, on the voting sheet, it'll say Sonoyta, Arizona. So I was living in Vail, which is just a little south of Tucson. So I was the events guy, quote unquote, for the Tucson Homebrew Club. I was a member of ASH, which is Arizona Society of Homebrewers, and also stood up another homebrew club, which was Buffalo Brew Club, and I sound like a homebrew club whore. But then I later moved to, I'm now in San Diego, so I'm a Californian, and I'm now part of Quaff, who's here down south, and they're gunning for the BN Club.
Yeah, love it.
So
I love it.
For Homebrew Club of the Year.
Excellent. Well, if you win, I'll know who to speak to at the next governing committee meeting, Michael.
Michael, I need to talk to you in the other room, please.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, excellent. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Any specifics about maybe what you'd like to help out with, or any kind of agenda that you have for the committee?
No. Well, my platform is to get JP removed from the show.
Okay.
I support that fully, personally.
You might find a lot of support for that.
Yeah. That'll be the easiest thing you ever have to do.
I think you just won yourself the election.
Yeah.
Start off with a win.
Low-hanging fruit.
No. But no, there's just, I just like to have the opportunity to help make change and try to bring some, different ideas and get the AHA up and rolling and work for us, because basically that's what the AHA is there for, is for us as homebrewers, and that's what I'd like to bring the voice of homebrewers to the AHA.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right, folks, right now you can go over to homebrewersassociation.org, and there's a little button called Membership. A drop-down will appear, and you can go find Michael Fry's bio there, so you can read more about him and his platform, and then vote.
With my glamour profile.
Yeah, I saw your glamour shot there.
Glamour shots.
Is there any relation to Chris?
I mean, the thing is, like, the glamour shots are getting better and better with new candidates. Yeah. Mine on there, I look like Teen Wolf right now. I don't know when this shot is from, but it's the most homeless-looking me you've ever seen.
Maybe it was when you were homeless.
It was before you had oil.
It was way before oil, but and Michael looks very handsome.
Sure he does.
So go to Homebrewers Association.
Years ago.
Okay, yeah. That's the key, isn't it? Use old photos. Michael had just graduated high school in this photo.
That's right.
When you're at your best.
All right, go to homebrewersassociation.org. You can learn more about Michael and vote for him should you choose to do so. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right, take care. There you go. That's one of our candidates this year.
I need to find these photos now, because I like looking at photos of people, and especially if you look silly, then I'm going to do it.
And so it's right, like they list all the current GC members. So you can see
governing committee. There it is. Oh, yeah, you got to scroll down.
Yeah. So
wow.
Look at that. Right?
Even look, Denny's right next to you, Denny Kahn, and he looks surprised how terrible you look.
He wasn't even in the room when the photo was taken.
He's just shocked.
And I've had the opportunity to change that, and I was like, I don't know. I kind of.
You should.
Have they made a point to ask you each year after? Justin,
like,
have you thought about it?
Is that what they keep saying? Like, hey, do you want to send a new photo? I was always like, no, you have one, right?
I mean, are you asking me to trade photos with you? Because that's something else entirely.
I didn't realize they were encouraging me to.
You are very hairy in that photo.
Yeah. I don't know what, was I on a road trip for a month or something?
I
didn't have the beard oil.
I think what it was shortly after you had cut your hair. Because 10 years ago, you had your hair cut, and so you're like letting it grow out a little too long.
I see.
And it's laying down too flat.
You should transition?
Yeah, it's transition.
Now you're actually commenting on that. Maybe I had too much product in it.
Maybe. You never know.
It's too flat.
You could pull the Keeler, Jay Keeler there, and he just gives zero fucks. He's in a beanie, and he's just looking really smug.
Yeah.
Denny looks full-blown mountain man.
Denny looks shocked that he's still alive. Keeler just gives zero fucks at all. This is great. I love it.
And then me. And me. I'm posing for like Mr. Homeless 2015.
Yes, you. There's you doing that. Beecham just looks bloated. And then there's Kim Wood looking very nice and adorable.
All right. Well, speaking of great photos, our next guest, also a great asset to the governing committee currently. She's up for re-election, Miss Debbie Serta. Hi, Debbie.
Hi. How you doing?
We're doing great. Thanks for being on the program with us.
Well, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to visit with you. We miss you here in, I would say sunny Austin, but actually it's a very cold, blustery evening.
Lucky.
Are you going to make your way up to the Bluebonnet Brew-Off in a couple weeks?
I'm definitely hoping to be there. I don't know if I get to make it in person, but I'll be there in spirit.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I recently, this weekend I was busy helping to open up the tasting room for a local brewery here in Austin.
Oh, wonderful.
Tasting room manager now, so it's still doing community outreach and want to be up there, but I definitely be sending up plenty of beer if I don't make it myself.
Exciting. All right.
I mean, seriously, what would they, are they going to turn down the free beer?
No, of course not. And if they did, I'll be talking to some people while I'm there. It's a ridiculous thing to do. So Debbie Serta is a current member of the governing committee. When were you elected for your first term?
That would have been 3 years ago.
3 years, right? Okay. Yeah, each term is 3 years. And so you're coming up now for re-election. And why don't you remind people a little bit about yourself, your brewing background, and maybe tell us a little bit about what you've done in your first term.
Well, my background is that I kind of got involved about 25 years ago when I was a tender young age of 5. In home brewing in Houston, Texas. And actually that wasn't quite true there, but I would just say I spent half my lifetime in the home brew scene in Texas. Got started when I lived in Houston for a bit, became a member there, and then moved to Austin in 93, where I got very quickly involved with a couple of the clubs here as well. And so just definitely always been passionate about home brewing, about advocating for the hobby, as well as for craft beer across the U.S. I have, what's interesting is I actually met Gary at a AHA rally here in Austin. I would have to say that was probably 8 years ago. And the nice thing about that is I met him at Independent Brewing. That's where I joined as a member. I went to a couple conferences, and it was wonderful just being kind of encouraged to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
And the irony is that, so the brewery I started with, the brewery I'm working with now is Independent Brewing, and we're actually hosting the Austin Rally in May. So it's good to have the connections that it's coming kind of full circle. My association with AHA being able to kind of give back by hosting another event for folks who want to come from wherever to the rally.
That's great. I love hearing that.
So, yeah, I've now been on the, and I know I've been involved in the local community for a while, working for local brew pub, helping many breweries with their events, doing volunteer coordination and festivals and things like that. So, I mean, we're all one big, pretty happy brewing community here in Texas, and then outreach even beyond that. I mean, it's great to have connections to, brewers in Escondido, California, and Grand Rapids, and Portland, and all over. So I love just a sense of community, and even global. I also have worked with Jester King, so meeting people like, Jeppe from Evil Twin, and the guys from Prairie, and folks from Belgium. And Cantillon, it's just amazing.
Beautiful.
So with that in mind, that kind of draws in a bit of what I've been doing for the last few years. The big thing has been, it kind of started out with, was being part of working to create the Research and Education Fund. I did a presentation at this last conference in Grand Rapids in regards to some of the projects that have come through and received funding because there is funding available for homebrew-related research and topics. I've been involved with the conference committee as well as some others as well. But I kind of feel like the real sort of thing I'm most proud of is the diversity subcommittee. And that is essentially engendering more people of different of genders, of ethnicities, of age groups, of different, demographic, geographic areas to be introduced into homebrewing, as well as to ensure that the current members we have that are meeting their needs as well.
And that's a fairly new subcommittee for us, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. This is a very new subcommittee. We kind of started in about, probably about October.
Okay.
A lot of the folks had pulled over. So we have members. We have members that we have someone from Puerto Rico. We have folks that give input from Canada. We have, people of all ages, and we've been focusing a lot right now. Currently, sort of setting the model by aiming towards women, because as you remember, my platform from 3 years ago was more hot chicks, less sausage fest.
Which we all supported you, for various reasons.
Right.
Because the idea is that it is the idea of, how do you engender more, what more women involved in it. And I think a big part of what I see both through homebrewing as well as being involved now as a craft beer professional is a lot of it is with the consumer aspect. What is the market? I think that we've got to really be driving that as well, working with in parallel with the Brewers Association, because, at this point it's like, why would a woman want to homebrew if they're not even haven't gotten that appreciation for the palate for craft beer?
Yeah.
So that's kind of been being very mindful about how to make sure that this parallel is occurring. And I think it's going that way. It's definitely growing that way. We are bridging that. And the idea is, when it comes down to it, homebrews for everybody, craft beers for everybody, and homebrews for everybody. It's about diversity. It's about exploring and trusting your palate. I think AHA has taught me so much in that aspect. It wasn't until I studied for the BJCP program that I got out of my little comfort zone of one or two, of hoppy IPAs and maybe stout, and reached out. And, now I work for a farmhouse brewery on the weekend, that is a sour, an internationally known brewery, and I work with a more traditional brewery now. So it's, that to me is a big thing, is taking that and really taking homebrewing global. We have interest all over the world right now. We've got people, in Germany, in South America, in the Philippines, who are interested in homebrewing. And the AHA is really going to be, helping to drive that, to provide that template and that community for people all over the world.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, anything else you'd like to say? It sounds like you're going to continue with the same kind of work with diversity and maybe some competition work in your second term if you're elected.
Yeah, and one final thing that I've been really pushing for that I won't be will not be on the subcommittee, but we have just newly formed, and within the last month, a government affairs subcommittee. And that is where, although homebrewing is legal in all our states now, there's still a lot of regulatory changes that need to occur so that we can ensure that we can continue to have competitions, homebrew meetings, anything in regards to dealing with the transportation aspects, whether we can go on to bonded licensed premises. So then, that breweries can support homebrew communities by allowing them in to do competitions. That's not the case in all states. And currently, I'm glad to report that Texas is looking towards that because we've not been able to do that. Because the idea of, it's very easy for a new brewery owner to go, well, why do I care about homebrew contests? And it's like, well, do you know how many homebrewers are actually in the U.S.?
Right.
Do you realize that these are your consumers and engendering those connections or building those relationships is going to help everyone. So
I love it.
But yeah, that's about it, I think.
Okay, you can read more about Debbie Serta over on homebrewersassociation.org. Just navigate your way through the membership area, and you'll see her lovely photograph and her statement, a little more description about what she's done for the last 3 years on the committee and what she's looking forward to in the future if elected as well. Thanks, Debbie.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks, everyone. It was really great, and I do appreciate y'all's support. And if you don't vote for me, still make sure you vote. So I'll love you more if you vote for me.
There we go. All right, thanks, Debbie.
And I'll share more beer at the conference in San Diego.
That's what you're going to ask everybody.
I'm not beyond bribing with my cellar collection.
1 ounce if you didn't vote, 2 ounces if you did.
Right.
There you go. I like that criteria.
Thanks, Debbie.
Have a great night.
All
Bye.
right, you too. There you go. Debbie Serta. You can find her over on homebrewersassociation.org. Debbie's a lot of fun, and she does do some good work on the committee. I can vouch for that. She's been working hard over there. All right. You know who our next guest is?
No, but I want to know.
The world's biggest 311 fan.
Chip Walton?
Chip Walton is going to be on the program right now. He's running for the governing committee this year, and I believe he is running on the platform of World's Biggest 311 Fan.
That's it. Nothing to do with homebrewing at all.
Chip, welcome to the program, buddy. No Chip.
He's too busy being really happy.
He's listening to 311 right now.
Yeah. I think he had a bass injury trying to slap the bass real hard.
He is connected. I see you there. I don't know if you can hear me.
Isn't that
Chip, but I
think you're writing a 311 song right now.
He's too busy.
He's connect. Bow, bow, bow. I don't know.
I don't know if you're. He's a techie guy, so I would think his microphone would be on.
Would you say he's a pretty techie guy? Can you see his energy?
I can.
Is it amber?
You're an asshole, Beverly.
That was great.
I don't know, Chip, if you can hear us, maybe you got to call in the hotline, 888-401-BEER, 888-401-BEER, if you want to try that.
We could just play a 311 song, and that'd probably be
It would be
promotion
just
for
like
him.
talking to him. Yeah. I looked for the AAA button on the phone once. I couldn't find it.
No, it's hard to find, but it's there.
Shit.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. God.
We're going to put you on hold, a little 311 while we wait for...
How do I turn my headphones off?
Moskowitz, by the way, is a not-so-closet 311 fan himself.
311's
Right.
great. Yeah. I dig him, for sure.
Well, Chip's not answering via chat or anything else either. Oh, such awful.
Terrible. Yeah. It's like Maroon 5, but worse.
311. Their tour bus should have crashed back in the early 90s and saved us. Whatever.
Chip's campaign manager is making some questionable calls by promoting his 311 fandom.
Yeah. They should spend more time on skateboards and less time in the studio. I want to hear their shitty music. I'm not even sure Chip's computer is on. He's not answering his text messages via Skype. Chip, call up 888-401-BEER. Or I can give your campaign speech for you if you prefer.
You should sing it over a 311 bass line.
I'm Chip Walton. Amber is the color of his energy.
Whoa.
All right. Why don't we give Chip a moment? Looks like maybe Bevo has him on the line now. Either that or it's 311's agent calling in.
You owe me for that royalty.
Yo, it's $5 for playing that shitty song.
To each band member.
Is that Chip?
That's Chip.
All right, let's try that.
Chipaholic.
Chip, I don't know, buddy. If
Yeah.
you can't figure out a laptop, I don't know what you're going to do on the governing committee.
I know. I haven't used the Skype literally since Paines and I were on, so I was hoping that everything was still hooked up from last time, but I don't know what part of the chain broke.
Aren't you like the communications director at your job?
Yeah. I know. Here we go.
All right. No, I'm going to go easy on you. Chip Walton's a good dude. He produces the Chop and Brew video cast.
Chop and Brew.
He's been in the industry for quite some time. You might remember him from Brewing TV as well. And this year, he's running for the AHA governing committee. So, Chip, why don't you remind our listeners a little bit about yourself, your brewing history, and what you have in mind for the committee?
I've been brewing since 2007, started down in Austin, Texas, actually, and moved up to the Twin Cities in about a year later. Been extract brewing, the whole thing, and then got a job at Northern Brewer doing brewing TV and instructional videos, and that just through doing that kind of stepped into other kinds of brewing a bag and all grain eventually. And then after 3 years of working at Northern Brewer and Brewing TV, got a job at Summit Brewing Company here in St. Paul. So I do their social media stuff, and then I do Chop and Brew on the side. So, brewing a bag generally, all grain every now and then. I did the easy way, a pumpkin peach ginger ale for us chuckleheads out here. Extract style a couple of weeks ago, actually, just to do it the easiest way possible, because it's not to be brewed the hard way, you know what I'm saying?
No, we know exactly what you mean. Nothing should be brewed the hard way any longer.
And it was hard. I broke an immersion blender doing it, because one of my peaches still had a pit in it, and I was like, I think this is something else, not what I'm actually blending, and I destroyed like a beautiful new immersion blender doing it. So it was the hard way, or at least the expensive way.
I like that despite the obstruction, you kept at it long enough to destroy the blender.
I was I think it's because of the angle in the bowl, not because of the fact that I'm slowly destroying it.
Right. That doesn't sound like fresh peach sound. Keep going.
Yeah. All right, so you brew quite a bit. You definitely produce a lot of educational material for us, and I appreciate that as a fan. Why are you interested in being on the governing committee?
Kind of more of the same thing, just to kind of maybe help the AHA build its hub of resources, maybe think of new ways to present, whether, it's video, slideshow, audio, very in line with what you guys have been doing all along, too. Just figuring out new ways to make the information accessible, informative, but also, edutainment, because we all know that, the education side doesn't necessarily always appeal to people, but if you can entertain them and kind of psych them into learning something, next thing you know, they're the next layer of proponent and awareness creation. So, that's the big part. I feel like that's my skill set to a degree, is producing creative content, or at least being a filter for interaction on a worldwide, scale. We've got fans all over the world, just like Brewing Network. You hear from people all over the country, all over the globe, that have questions and want help or have suggestions, and just want to kind of throw that into the general knowledge pool.
I think that skill set would be very welcome on the committee and to the AHA. My opinion is that over the years, the website has gotten just so much better and lots more content, and they're always looking for new ways to do more of that. So that's a good skill set you bring to the table, if I don't say so myself.
Cool, man. Good.
No. All right, well, you can read more about Chip Walton by going over to homebrewersassociation.org, and you can see his lovely picture there. He is also a handsome man. And you can also read about his platform and his brewing history and vote for Chip that way. Any parting thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do a quick plug. Our boy Nathan Smith is actually, he was here 2 weeks ago visiting family in town, so we we cornered them into the badass brewery, Bryan Adams Basement Brewery. We did some saisons, and that's going to be coming out this week. As soon as Nathan checks the preview link and approves it, we'll be good to go. So, yeah, you're going to get to see some Brewing Network all-star action going on here later this week. And it's a good episode. We got some metal in the background. We're doing some saisons.
Excellent.
Some dogs in the house.
Some dogs. I like that we have a hamster.
Yeah. The sky was blue.
So this is over on Chop and Brew. Where do people go find Chop and Brew?
chopandbrew.com or youtube.com/chopandbrew. Those are pretty much where the videos are, and then you can interact on Facebook, Twitter, kind of usual suspects for social media.
Excellent. All right, we'll find out more about...
I do know how to use the Internet. I swear I don't know how to use Skype, but I do know how to use the Internet.
Skype is so 2013 anyways.
Right.
You're
I know.
fine.
We're going backwards back to actually using the phone for talking instead of just fidgeting with your fingers. So I'm glad we could do this.
What Chip lacks in his Skype, he really makes up for in rotary phone usage.
Yes.
He has the fastest finger in Minnesota.
It's going to bring back party lines. Great.
That's right.
Yikes, there we go.
That's his platform for the GC.
Yeah.
Party lines, guys.
Party lines.
How come we're not doing party lines?
No explanation.
Fast fingers.
Yeah.
Fast fingers. Not fat fingers, fast fingers.
That's right.
Or both.
All right. Once again, homebrewersassociation.org. Click on the membership button. Go find Chip and read all about him, and you can vote for him there should you be so inclined. Thanks, Chip. Good luck, man.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
All right, brother. Take care. There you go. Chip Walton. Good guy.
I like Chip.
A lot of good candidates. There's always good candidates. It's hard to decide, but vote with your hearts and your minds. Listen closely to what people have to offer. Debbie did make an excellent point. Whoever you vote for, make sure you vote. We've had more voting every year. I think it's gone up and up because more members are getting involved, and you get to elect us yokels that sit on the governing committee, and we speak for you. You complain to us, and we complain to them, and it goes like that.
Yeah. And then Gary's head explodes.
Yeah, I just go for the free coffee that we get at the meeting. So
I hope we can get to the point where we have more people voting in the AHA election than we do in the U.S. presidential election. A higher percentage.
How amazing would that be?
We'd might already be there.
We'd have to move over to an electorate system, an electoral college.
Yeah, no direct democracy.
People do more research on the AHA election than people do in the U.S. election.
Yeah, they actually listen to these interviews that we do here.
And read the website with the bios.
Know your candidates.
Know your candidates. I do encourage you to vote. I'll be voting this year. I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for.
Well, I wouldn't dream of asking.
Yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
who are you voting for?
Have we ever officially? I think we either endorse everybody or don't endorse anyone, right? We never. Do we ever officially? And I think we might have officially endorsed Kim Wood because she was clearly the best candidate.
Or you,
and she's ours.
And she's ours.
And in that year, I don't think we didn't do interviews. I think last year, right? Didn't we skip a year? And that was the year Kim won.
Oh,
and
that's
so
true.
Since we didn't do everybody anyway,
I was allowed to endorse.
Yep.
Good point. As if there's rules. Like we apply these rules to ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we shouldn't do that.
No, that would make no sense at all.
You're only making your own rules.
I really like things that way.
No, you didn't need to endorse her. Everybody on the BN knows her, so they voted for her.
All right, well, we'll have more candidates for you next week and all the way up until election time. So if you prefer to wait till you've heard everybody, we will get through everyone before the election deadline, which is somewhere in the end of March, I believe. So vote as you wish. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Dave Gull, he's the founder of New Helvetia Brewing Company. We're going to have some of his beer. We've got it on tap here at the Hop Grenade, too, so come on out if you're local or if you're just sitting there in the bar. Order yourself a New Helvetia. We're going to be talking to the founder in just a moment. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Do you support the Brewing Network? Do you brew your own? Are you looking for an economical, fun, and legal way to do both? Subscribe to Brew Your Own magazine and do just that. All year long, Brew Your Own will surprise you, entertain you, and educate you with articles on beer and brewing from authors like the Brewing Network's very own Jamel Zainashev and John Palmer. Each issue is a full pint of brewing techniques, homebrew stories, tips and photos, projects to make yourself, and recipes for the avid home brewer. Get your tough questions answered by Mr. Wizard and polish your style accuracy with Jamil. A portion of every subscription goes to the Brewing Network, so subscribe today at byo.com/Brewing Network, or just click the BYO logo on the Brewing Network homepage and support a fantastic hobby and your favorite broadcaster. Brew Your Own, the how-to homebrew beer magazine.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zainashev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com. Limited time only. Enter promo code BNARMY during January and February for 10% off any Monster Mill. Don't settle for the second best grain mill. You want a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware. Monster Mills are tough, come in 2 and 3 roller designs, and are made right here in the USA from superior materials for longer lasting performance. Pick the mill that's right for you at monsterbrewinghardware.com and take Bevo's advice.
Trust me, it's always better to have a bigger tool than you think you need.
Monster Mills have the best warranty in the business. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit monsterbrewinghardware.com now and check out all the mills and mill accessories. Remember, during January and February, for 10% off any mill, enter promo code BNARMY.
You're tuned into the session.
Because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Thanks to our 3 AHA Governing Committee candidates for speaking with us today, and we got more of that coming up in the coming weeks. A lot of candidates this year, so we'll try to get through them all for you. We're going to get to our guest here in just a moment. New Helvetia Brewing Company is on the program. I wanted to let you know quickly about the latest book from the Brewing Elements series from the Brewers Association, Malt, a practical guide from field to brewhouse. It's actually written by John Mallett, who's a great brewer. Of course, he's of Bell's Brewery fame, and Bell's one of the best breweries in the country, if you ask me. He's written Malt, a practical guide from field to brewhouse. It's a comprehensive look at the soul of beer, malt. John leads us through quality and analysis, malt selection and storage and handling. The book's a value to all brewers of all experience levels who want to learn more about the role of malt as the backbone of the beer. Understanding malt and how to use it is crucial to any brewer looking to understand his or her craft. And, of course, this goes along in the series with yeast that Jamil and Whitey did, and water that I believe Colin and
Palmer.
Was it Colin and Palmer together? They did that one, yeah. So just another great book in the series that you should have on your shelf. Go over to brewersassociation.org and check it out. It's a new book, Malt.
It's funny. John Plise came in here on Friday. I think he had seen it sitting in here when we did Brewing with Style, and he came in. You were out of town, Justin. He was like a crack addict. He was like, "Hey, you know anywhere I can get that malt book?" And I was like, "Well, there's a copy here. I don't know if we have more. Let me call Justin." He's like kind of scratching his arm. He's like, "Well, can I just borrow this one?" And I was like, "Well, let me just call Justin and find out." He's like, "Well, but I'll bring it back Monday." And I was like, "All right, take it."
Yeah. He texted me too. He's like, "I took the book. Do you need it?" And I said, "Yeah, I kind of do. I need it Monday.
I need it more."
So we can talk about it a little bit. But yeah, John's into he likes to really know his craft. So this is a good book for him to steal for the weekend. If I know John, he read the whole thing over the weekend.
I'm sure he did.
I've already thought about putting it in my sweatshirt to take home. Borrow.
Yeah, to borrow.
For the weekend.
Yeah, for the long week end.
Right.
Exactly.
It'll end eventually.
All right, Dave Gull, he's the founder of New Helvetia. Welcome to the program, Dave.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. One of Sacramento's newer breweries. You guys just celebrated, your 2-year anniversary?
Second anniversary. We decided to pick Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, as our big holiday celebration day.
How'd that go?
It's fucking great because we got who does anything on Black Friday ever?
Right.
Do you go shopping? Anybody here go shopping on Black Friday?
No.
Who goes
movies all day?
You go and you get a beer, right?
Yes.
Play Dungeons and Dragons.
Of course, but that you
you
did that on Thanksgiving Day and the Wednesday before and the Tuesday.
I'm doing it right now, as a matter of fact.
So you're not in our target audience.
Yeah, that's right.
No, probably not.
So
I'm more chaotic neutral.
You must have got a lot of people out then.
Oh, it was stellar. It was the biggest single sales day we've ever had at the brewery. It was wonderful.
That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about your brewing history. How did you get into beer and want to open a brewery?
Well, started by drinking beer,
Good.
Of course.
Excellent.
I did a little home brewing, not a lot. Can't claim to be much of a home brewer. It was all mediocre at best, I would say.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, homebrew.
Yeah.
Homebrew, right. And, we had this place in Sacramento called Brew It Up. And they were right downtown. It was the bop kettles, little brew on premise things. And you'd go in there and you'd take their recipe and you'd maybe tweak it a little bit, but the whole time you're using sort of this slightly bigger, fancier, steam-powered homebrew setup.
Okay.
It was kind of cool because you obviously you're eating and drinking the whole time, which is of course wonderful itself.
Absolutely.
And then, but you're also brewing hands-on in this really cool setup. This really cool.
How many
retail
gallons
facility
were those?
Usually about 15.
6 cases is
15,
usually what
okay.
you'd go home with.
Okay, got it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like a big system you were on, is it? Just
it was,
you said, a sort of a glorified homebrew.
It was about a barrel, and I got a feeling that they kind of maybe kept half a barrel from themselves and they'd sell you the other half.
That's a nice business plan. I like that.
A little bit off the top.
Well, 6 cases would be a half a barrel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we would usually bottle off 6, and then you have to come back and do the bottling 3 weeks later. So another day of eating and drinking all day. And
I did a BOP over at Diving Dog in Oakland, a new place that opened up.
Yeah.
And, I'm in that waiting to bottle phase.
Oh yeah,
trying to get my team together. It's hard to do.
The truth is,
so that you don't have to do anything,
fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Nobody shows up. It's like herding cats, and these are all girls.
Can you just bring kegs and just have them put it in the keg?
So, fifth time in, I did that. I brought a 5-gallon keg, and then I had 3 cases or whatever was left to bottle. But I did. I got a little corny keg and 5 gallons. And
That's what I should do, except they want pictures and stuff. That's silly.
No. So do like a 6-pack and then keep the rest.
I'll just bring in some different girls this time.
So all right. So this place was near you in Sacramento.
Yeah, so I was just doing some home brewing out of that, or I don't know. What do you call that? Is it semi-pro brewing at that point? Not really.
I feel like it's still home brewing.
I was doing it with
craft brewing, but
it's not even at home though.
It was with the intention of going pro.
It's
right.
brewing.
It was a precursor to launch into this, and
So
I've heard
this
from
is
some of the other guys that had used that exact place. I brew it up to kind of sort of get their legs under them to get started. And
That's contract brewing.
So you had home brewed at home, and
stovetop in a carboy, yeah.
And then decided, you know what, I'm going to go for this. I want to open a brewery, so let me start by brewing at this next level up.
Right. And
Okay.
so I was sort of being the super consumer. You know, I was a customer of Brew It Up,
Okay.
and I would call them at like 10 o'clock on a Wednesday and say, when could I get in? And they'd say, well, we open at 11. I'm like, give me that spot then. And I'd show up, and now I'm like 4 or 5 versions of my recipe in, and I already got it down. And so I'm like sort of like a 6-case production home / hoping to go pro soon, semi-pro brewer.
All right.
Were you were just doing the same recipe the whole time?
I was,
just trying to dial that in.
You know, I was trying to master a Vienna.
Yeah,
and
Good style.
And
that's a good
to
style.
date, New Helvetia has not brewed a Vienna.
Okay.
You're still working on it.
All right.
I hope you do. I love it when
Yeah.
breweries do a good Vienna, and they're so hard to find.
It is. It's a difficult beer. It's a lager, and we generally avoid the lagers. We do one, but we wanted to do a lager and have a lager in our lineup all the time. But it's a difficult beer for us, and it kind of, I get it. It might slow us down a little bit on our production
for
side.
most breweries.
And didn't you win a medal in the lager? Or with a lager?
Yeah, I think we won a gold at the Amador County Fair.
Nice. Out of the pro brewery, that is.
Well, yeah.
Right,
This is out of New Helvetia.
Yeah,
correct.
okay, got it.
My Vienna hasn't won shit.
All right, so you brew a few times at the brew on premise, and then what happens?
Then when I really decide that, okay, I'm going pro at this. Well, can I back up a little bit to
Absolutely.
history?
No, don't let him. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
No, we're already here.
Yeah, keep going.
All right,
I'm going to pass your beer around. Is that okay?
Yeah, chocolate porter, pass that around. I started off wanting to bring back a piece of Sacramento history. There was this big brewery in town called Buffalo Brewing Company, and the idea was I was going to relaunch the Buffalo Brewing Company, and it just reminded me of a time when Sacramento accomplished big things.
Okay.
With a lot less resources. You know, right now we're close to 500,000 people in a region of 2.2 million. It's not a small town anymore. But at turn of the century, 1890, right up through Prohibition, Buffalo Brewing Company became one of the biggest and widely distributed breweries west of the Mississippi.
Okay.
It was a cool story, and it's right out of our little town of Sacramento. And a lot of that had to do with location and logistics. We grew barley, we malted barley. We grew hops, we processed hops. We had this wonderful water source out of the Sierra Nevada, and we had the western terminus of the Transcontinental Railroad, and we had water access to the Bay and the Pacific Rim. So
amazing how local brewing used to be about local ingredients because it was really a regional thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that just reminded me of a time when Sacramento made things happen. They literally moved rivers to save their city, and it just seemed that wasn't the case previously or in our recent history.
Sure. Now I'm even more decades. Now I'm even more depressed about our recent Sacramento when you put it that way.
No, not at all. I mean, right now the tide has definitely turned, but
okay.
But bringing that history forward and trying to relaunch this whole historic brand. Well, we hit some bumps in the road.
Okay. Like what?
Well, we couldn't call it Buffalo Brewing Company.
Couldn't get the name.
Well, we could have fought the fight, but I didn't have that kind of money.
Sure. Okay.
So we decided on a different historical approach, call it New Helvetia, which reflects the founding of Sacramento from John Sutter. And, hey, a brewery was born.
Describe the reference. I don't understand the reference.
So John Sutter... I don't know.
You're a bad Californian, Justin.
Yeah.
You son of a
I
bitch.
always have been.
Go back to Connecticut.
I'm sort of a bad resident of anywhere.
Yeah, go take your dog up and get out of here.
Do you know anything about Connecticut?
No, very little. Yeah.
They have a really
California schools teach you about this stuff.
I know a lot about my bedroom and my living room. That's so tell me about this reference.
So the reference. So John Sutter... he got a land grant from the governor of Mexico. Just remember, California was a Mexican territory going back before the gold rush.
Yeah.
So he gets this land grant. He picks up some Hawaiians who are kind of indentured servants or whatever they called them. It's not a great story when we get down to the...
Sure. Not much of California is.
I love it so far.
Right,
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he gets in and he gets this land grant and establishes a colony in the wild interior of California, which was the Sacramento Valley. And, we had all kinds of shit like malaria and wild beasts all over the place. There were no buffalo or bison anywhere to be seen.
Okay.
So that's really not part of that history.
Yeah.
Did he settle in the wintertime? Because summer there is awful. I wonder why he would pick that spot.
Okay, is this going to be a thing? Is this like a Bay Area Sacramento thing?
It always is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
How soft are you?
By the way, Beardy's never even been to Sacramento. He's where, like Minnesota or something.
No, I'm from Santa Cruz.
Oh, well.
Okay, yeah.
He's got a leg to stand on then. Santa Cruz is
Way
pretty
more
nice.
coastal than here. Okay.
I knew Mr. Sutter personally.
Okay, yeah.
I do kind of have that old-timey gold rush beard.
Right, yeah.
So, how do we get to New Helvetia?
Okay, so this is the land grant itself is called New Helvetia.
Got it. Okay.
And the gold rush happens, a bunch of people start fighting, and America wins, and they take over Sacramento, California, everything else, right? Team America.
Yep.
He's American through and through.
Goddamn right. That's cool. So you're still bringing it back to Sacramento's history, but not
Buffalo.
super specifically, but just more regional, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. So you decide on this. You can't do Buffalo. That's all right. You're happy with New Helvetia. What happens next?
So then we go and we try to find our brewery.
Okay.
So we're looking for space. We're looking for a commercial lease, right? Because that's kind of the starting point of any real brewery venture is a place.
Yeah.
So you have to have a home.
Is there a lot available in Sacramento?
In 2011, there were tons of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was 2011. I start this search, and I kind of have run of the mill. I can pick almost any spot I want.
Yeah, the market was bottomed out at that point, right?
Absolutely
Tons of
bottomed out.
vacancies.
Yeah. So I hate to say this and give away all of my trade secrets, but I'm paying kind of warehouse rents for a corner downtown frontage spot.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Because you were able to negotiate at that time.
There was no negotiation. It was simply
They needed to rent it.
Yeah.
It's me or nobody.
So this former tile store / brothel, massage parlor place, whatever this used to be, has been sitting vacant for how long? Here's what I'll give you.
Is its history questionable? Does anybody really know what it used to be?
I wonder about it. It's just it's suspect, I would say that. Because, the history that everybody remembers it as is a tortilla factory.
Okay.
So clearly it had this food production vibe to it going way back. There were still burn marks and like smoke stains on the brick walls above wherever the cookers were, and even the wood joists above the ceiling were all burn scarred from these smokers and cookers, and so that it had that kind of cool vibe to it. But at one point it became a tile and stone showroom that I swear to God nobody ever shopped at.
So they were laundering money.
It was a front.
Right. Okay.
I gotta believe that it was a front for something way cooler than tile and stone.
Importing Italian marble.
Yeah. They had like a bag of marbles and one tile on a countertop.
This is what you got. What do you want? This is what we have.
They cooked it all when it was a tortilla factory, and then they sold it when it was a tile shop.
All right, so this is the building you decide on, but you don't know when it was this quote-unquote tile shop, like how long ago?
Oh, yeah, no, I remember
okay.
in my recent history, my memory, it was when I was doing commercial real estate in Sacramento, this place was still a tile showroom.
Got it.
That nobody shopped at.
Okay. All right, so you acquire this place. How big is it?
A little under 6,000 square feet. It's not a big spot.
Okay.
But we only started, about the front half of the building, less than 3,000 square feet. We cordoned that off into a tasting room and a brewery, and so we really end up with about 1,200 square feet of each. It's little.
Okay.
And this little L-shaped tasting room, and the brewery itself is just a little rectangle. We have a brew house, a couple of fermenters. people ask us if we give tours at the brewery, and I'm like, yeah, come and stand right here and turn in a circle.
Here it is.
There's your tour.
Yeah, it's like when I do home tours. It's like, well, you're standing in the living room. You can see the kitchen.
Yeah.
And there you go.
There's the backyard. So did you already have your brewing equipment when you decided on the building, or?
No.
Okay.
No, I decided on the building because I already knew the neighborhood, so it wasn't a big stretch for me. I knew what I was getting myself into at this location. So yes, I got the cheap rent. I got a little bit of hairiness that kind of came along with it, but the upside is this street, Broadway, and this neighborhood in Land Park is kind of like at the intersection of Land Park, Curtis Park, and Midtown, which are kind of two of the coolest, funnest, most prominent and sought-after neighborhoods in Sacramento. It just happens that this commercial corridor that connects them all is a little underdone.
So it's a little sketchy.
Little bit. Needs some has some rough edges.
So, for example, was anybody living near your building at the time, like on the street?
Oh yeah, we had a front squatter and a rear squatter.
Really?
You were surrounded.
So, during construction, we had our rear squatter had been taking construction debris. Kind of the from the dumpster, and he made this little shanty town back of our building.
Hey, renovation time!
Yeah.
Got to upcycle that shit.
It's totally renovating on your dime. I love it.
Yeah, that was a fun eviction.
How do you?
Yeah,
was it an eviction?
You posted a notice on the crumbling sheetrock.
Yeah.
I think what we did is we took his bike and moved it. And then he had to go get his bike, and then we grabbed all his other shit and threw it in the dumpster.
Put it back in the dumpster.
So it was kind of a rope-a-dope.
Wow. So you didn't have to call the police, or you just sort of tried to deal with it.
On every rare occasion, we do have to call the police. In those situations, no. My front squatter threatened to kill me, which was
really
that was a lot of fun.
And what, just some crazy babble, or?
Well. I'm going to make an assumption here. You guys have all been there. He was drunk off of his ass, laid out on a sidewalk.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, that we all been drunk off our ass laying on a sidewalk?
Yeah.
Get up to yell at you?
Okay, maybe that's the wrong assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I thought, at first I thought he was dead. I thought I had a body in my sidewalk.
Oh, no.
And so I kind of go up and I give his foot a kick, and he doesn't move. And then there's this weird feeling that comes over you, oh crap, who's watching this right now?
Oh, sure.
I'm kicking this guy that's down on the sidewalk. No, if somebody walks up on this at the wrong moment, they're going to think I put this guy down somehow, and now I'm kicking him again. But I'm just checking to see if he has a pulse, basically. And
yeah. Meanwhile, the latest post on bumkicking.com
bum fights
is new Helvetia.
Right. Yeah, and that's not the social media we're going after.
No,
unfortunately.
Of course not. Of course. And are you still under construction at this time?
Yeah. This actually. Well, front sidewalk bum was the night of our grand opening.
Okay.
So I kind of had to move him along a little more quickly. So after I kind of look around sheepishly trying to see who's watching this, and I do notice that, so we have a car wash right across the street, and they're just, there's one car going through every hour, and there's 14 employees there. So
they're all watching.
Seems like a strange...
yeah,
another front.
Labor kind of.
I've seen Breaking Bad. I know what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. I call them homeless showers, but what do I know?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's probably 3 or 4 of the car wash employees now watching me, and so I decide, well, take this to the next level, and so I just kind of start yelling, "Hey, you, are you okay? Do I need to call the emergency medical service people or what?" I don't know.
You
call
can't take a
EMS. What was you remember your CPR training? Has anybody ever done that? Call EMS. So I kind of give his foot a couple more big kicks, and then I pull his coat back because he was kind of he was shielded a bit, and so I pull his coat back and see if he's breathing, and he is. So that was good because it meant he could get up and walk.
Yeah,
I didn't have to have an ambulance come out.
It
didn't
necessarily mean that. It just meant he wasn't dead.
Well, he could.
We're going to go get a snow shovel and just start scooping him up.
Yeah.
We have a forklift.
There you go. So what does he finally come to?
So he rolls up, and he kind of gets up on his haunches, and he I can't say this.
What do you mean?
He threatened me. He called me the N-word.
Wow. Just right out, he just wakes up and goes right to that, huh?
And, he calls me the N-word, and then he says that his N-word brother is going to come and shoot me.
Wow.
Whoa.
And then he says, an N-word like me doesn't fuck around with N-words like you.
Wow.
And
this is amazing.
And then he kind of saunters off.
Oh, so he got up and left, though.
So they got up and left, yeah.
And now you're waiting to be shot.
No, I see him about once a week.
Well, he had to go tell his brother.
He has no recollection.
His name's Joe.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. Spelt with an N, I guess. I don't know. All right, so you got him out in time for your grand opening.
So it's people showed up and none knew the better. It was great.
So it's an interesting neighborhood. And like you said, it's sort of right off of this awesome downtown Sacramento, right?
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Part of it.
There's a shit ton of going on. Well, Broadway itself is a really cool street that just kind of needs a little more polish to it.
Okay.
Yes, it has some grit and grime to it. It has homeless Joe on the sidewalk, but
sure. You haven't seen any shootings or anything like this?
No.
Car accidents?
We sometimes hear them.
Yeah, every night.
Hear which?
Who just dropped a keg in the brewery?
That was a backfire.
Yeah,
that was a car backfire.
Backfire.
I live in Martinez, and that's what we say, too. It's always a backfire. And let me tell you.
Even though not a single car on U.S. oil has backfired for about 30 years.
It's never a backfire.
It's not a backfire. Someone got shot in the back.
Yeah. Yes. It just happened yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I'm always like, how come there's never sirens after this?
Yeah, never.
Why does no one ever comes out of their house? That was very clearly a shotgun going off.
Because everyone is saying, "Oh, that was a backfire."
Yeah, we all just hide our head in the sand.
Yeah. My wife wonders sometimes, should we call 911? Like when we hear screaming and yelling, like from the next door.
Yes, you should.
And eventually it stops, and I was like, "Oh, it must have worked out."
Yeah, well, it worked one way or another.
Right.
Wow, it's really silent now.
Hey, look, Joe, the neighbor's doing more midnight gardening. Weird.
Yeah.
Joe the naked guy in the park.
Right. All right, let's break into the story real quick and talk about the beer that's in our glass. Because this is what are we drinking? It's
really good.
You're drinking our Imperial Chocolate Porter. This is our anniversary beer. We do so we're only 2 years in, but we've decided we're going to start a series, our anniversary series, and it's called Mystery Airship. And so the Mystery Airship series is really about, another kind of nerdy history thing that we like to talk about is one of the first recorded sort of UFO sightings ever in the media was in Sacramento.
Okay.
And the media report called it a mystery airship in the skies over Sacramento.
Nice.
And so we have some of the newspaper clippings about that. And so, it happened right around our anniversary date. So it happened November 17th, and our anniversary is whatever Friday Black Friday falls on, because that's what we decided our anniversary is. So this year we did an Imperial Chocolate Porter, and but it took some legwork to get to that point. So I checked in with one of our local chocolatiers, and it's a small business called Ginger Elizabeth Chocolates. And Ginger Elizabeth Hahn and her husband Tom started this chocolate company, and she's this ultra talented kind of chocolate savant.
Okay,
she's wonderful at what she does, and her shop is this beautiful little boutique spot that people are there all the time. There's an item in their shop called the let me try this. Oaxacan spicy hot chocolate.
Okay.
And it really is. It's a hot chocolate with it's like a Mexican hot chocolate. That's kind of what people know it as.
Yeah. You can taste right off the bat that it's a very different kind of chocolate. This isn't like milk chocolate, your standard dark, anything like that. There's a little kick to it already.
I thought it was mint. It tastes like a chocolate mint beer to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little mint chocolate, but it tastes like there's some heat behind it. Too,
yeah.
You got the heat. I'm not picking up the mint much, but
wow, really?
I got mint.
It tastes like a Girl Scout cookie.
I think I
mean that in a great way. It's really good.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoyed it a lot.
I think I get a little bit of that in the aroma, but I don't get it in the flavor.
Wow, really?
But yeah, it's a little. It'll clear your sinuses a little bit with some like spearmint or mint, but not in the flavor. It goes right to that spicy. I know that Mexican chocolate, by the way. I grew up on that kind of chocolate, and I used to love it.
Mi abuela, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
The Mexican hot chocolate, where you like aerate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
but that's not this. This is like way high quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is so we developed this beer alongside Ginger Elizabeth. She came out and brewed with us, which was a lot of fun. But before brewing, we did these tasting panels where we would get kind of some other brewery porters and stouts, some that were already chocolate, some that we would do our own chocolate blending and add the flavors to the beer. But what's really funny is that Ginger she's a sweet. her entire flavor profile is finely tuned to sweet, to chocolate.
Yeah.
And as we sample these beers, she would make remember the kind of the bitter barefaced commercials? She would do that.
Oh yeah, not enough chocolate.
Yeah, even though a porter or a stout is not really that bitter on the grand scale of beers, to her it was over the top bitter.
Okay.
And so when we developed this, we also didn't want the beer to push too much to the sweet. And so it was finding that balance. It was a little difficult in the brewing of it. But she came out, she brewed with us, and a lot of brewing is really just posing for pictures when you do these kind of
right.
collaboration brews.
Tell me about it.
Although somehow with your description, I picture Ginger running out there every time you guys turn your back to throw more chocolate in the brew.
Yeah. Well, she did source our cocoa nibs, and she said that they're Valrhona, which I don't live in the chocolate world, so I didn't know what that really meant. And then I found out that, that's really kind of the highest quality chocolate or biggest reputation or something.
Awesome.
It's a good thing, apparently.
Well, the chocolate character of this beer really comes through, and I don't think it is too sweet. I think you found the balance you're looking for.
Yeah, it's cocoa powdery, which is what you want, I think, in this.
But the high alcohol maybe cuts through a little bit. Go ahead, Tate.
But the nibs didn't add the heat and all that to it. How did you do that?
So there's actually ginger and pasilla chilies.
All right.
I thought maybe it hit you on the back end a little bit, not too.
No, it's nice.
Not too big.
Well done.
Probably a little milder in the flavor that maybe you detect, but there's cinnamon and vanilla
I thought
as
there was
well.
cinnamon.
Is this beer still available to consumers? This
Yeah,
beer?
we pushed this through in bottling, and we're really trying to make this thing kind of our first foray into the specialty beer. Every brewery that starts off does, they do like their standard IPA. We came out with a stout and a kind of a red ale / amber ale kind of beer.
Okay.
Or pale ale. That's kind of the standards that all the startup breweries hit the shelves with bottles. And we did our 3 or 4 bottle selections that were kind of in that same realm, and then decided, this beer is really kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really nervous based on the aroma. I was expecting it to be just super sweet, but between the heat, the carbonation, and just I think the dryness of the beer itself helped the finish.
Yeah, that cinnamon with the heat.
Yeah, just be really nice.
It's impressive. It's a great mix of flavors that you wouldn't think off the top of your head would go together.
Good start into the specialty bottle category.
Yeah.
Well chosen.
Trying.
Yeah.
Got to try somehow.
All right, let's do this. I got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll try some more new Helvetia beer. We'll learn more about the brewery and how you can find out more as well. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Hey, Wooly, I'm beat. Can we find a nice tree to just hang out in for a while?
You're beat. I've been swinging through this forest for 50 years, ever since we
first escaped from the circus. I know, but there's got to be more to life than exploring this creek and trying to populate the valley by copulating with loose, hairy girls.
Marquis, stop. Look! What is that? It looks like a man-made treehouse with fresh food and craft beer.
Welcome to the Creek Monkey Tap House, boys. Grab a seat. Creek Monkeys drink free.
Awesome! The Creek Monkey Tap House in Martinez, California takes their mission of fresh food and beer seriously. They only serve locally raised beef and chicken, as well as local sustainable produce. It's better for you and the planet, and it just tastes better. The beer and wine at Creek Monkey Tap House are chosen with the same care for the highest quality and rotate frequently to make each visit an adventure. Swing on into the Creek Monkey Tap House and enjoy a new legend of amazing food, beer, and wine. The Creek Monkey Tap House, online at creekmonkey.com.
BN Army, I'm here to talk seriously for a second. You all are partially responsible for something explosive, and it's time you answer for it.
Moonlight Meadery is exploding.
Yeah, exploding across the country. Wait, they just landed in Australia with insane quality meads.
With nearly 70 different varieties of mead on the market, Moonlight Meadery has blown up the mead category and completely reinvented it.
Seriously? What? Seriously. What? You're paying money for that watered-down mead when you could have a Moonlight mead?
Moonlight meads explode with quality and flavor.
They're a party in a bottle.
Did someone say party?
If you want mead and want the best, you want meads from Moonlight Meadery and will accept nothing less.
And now get 15% off by going to moonlightmeadery.com/BNArmy and use coupon code BNArmy at checkout.
Hey, sign me up for that party.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy f***ing shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Brewcasters are back.
It ain't 401 beer.
Whatever.
Yes, welcome back to the show. Thanks for hanging out with us. We've got new Helvetia Brewing Company in the studio with us tonight. We're trying their beer. We got it on tap here at the Grenade as well. Before moving on, let me let you know about Beersmith home brewing software. You've heard us talk about it, so you know it's great. You can go to beersmith.com right now and get a free 21-day trial, so you don't even have to take our word for it. Just go there and do it. It's got all sorts of video tutorials, so don't be afraid that you're learning a new piece of software. Brad over there at Beersmith makes it really easy. Tutorials for everything. Stuff you didn't even know that you needed to know how to do. It's all available. Plus, they're doing DVDs. They've got a podcast over there, a blog, you name it. But why calculate things by hand or use out-of-date software? You can go over to Beersmith right now and brew with confidence. Available on PC and Mac. So go check it out at beersmith.com. All right, what beer did we end up with in our glass this time from New Helvetia?
We brought the Rough and Ready Red IPA.
Red IPA, very nice. What makes a red IPA red?
Lots of blood.
Lots of blood, sweat, and tears.
It's angry.
Oh, it smells good, too. I like
Another
this one.
story behind the naming of the beer was I was at a beer event at, what was it? What's Nevada City, Grass Valley, that part of the country.
Yeah.
And one of the women that works at the California Craft Brewers Association, she's from that area, and I asked her where she was from. She goes, "Oh, I'm from a town called Rough and Ready."
That's actually the town name.
The town is called Rough and Ready, which
wow.
She was hitting on him, and he was
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm taking you to Rough and Ready town.
Girl, boy.
No, but what city are you from?
Yeah. She wouldn't let it go. So, really? It's a town called Rough and Ready.
Quickly turned into, man, that's a great name for a beer.
Yeah.
And we had already brewed this red IPA, and we didn't have a name for it. So it was kind of that kismet moment of, hey,
done.
Need a name, and She just gave it to me.
Yes, she did.
That's great. How many beers do you guys brew? Do you have kind of a standard lineup, or is it something new every time?
It's we have a standard lineup of 6 to 7 beers. Kind of it's hard to brew our lager on a regular basis. It's hard to brew our double IPA on a regular basis.
Okay.
So those kind of drop in and out of rotation, kind of as we can fit them in. We do. But then the rest of our beers do stay on, and those tend to be the beers that we try to put out to our bar and restaurant accounts, and the few that we're bottling right now, which is very few.
Got it.
But a lot of specialty stuff. We're doing a lot of fun beers that are just they like this chocolate beer we just had. It was an anniversary beer. I kind of see a future for this beer.
Mm-hmm.
It might be one of those that makes either a annual rotation comes back in during the holidays, or maybe it becomes a little more special than that. I don't know yet. We're so young, I haven't figured that stuff out yet.
I think that beer could make you famous. So whatever you decide, keep that in mind.
Okay.
Beer lovers are going to love that beer.
It's your choice.
Yeah, just like, you can keep it hidden over there in the corner,
Right, yeah.
or you can become famous.
Can we just release it every February and have lines out the door?
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Let's talk about the brew house itself. Because I'm reading in my notes that you kind of built your own system. Do I have it right that your very first fermenter was made of cardboard?
Not the first. That was probably our fourth.
Okay.
But we do have...
What was the first one made out of?
Stainless steel. All right,
straw.
So Brewhouse...
Adobe.
Brewhouse was rescued from a former brewery called... Oh, man, shit, I can't remember the name of the brewery. It was in Carson City. It was like a biker bar / brewery place. And then when we rescued it, it was a Chinese restaurant / sushi place. And by the way, don't eat the sushi.
Okay.
We went in there and looked at this, bunch of stainless steel tanks in this Chinese restaurant, and there were literally crates of bok choy on top of it.
Wow. Interesting.
So we're moving crates of... I would hope fresh vegetables off of our future brew house, and pulled it out of this restaurant and threw it in a truck and drove it back over the summit to Sacramento. That became our first brew house. The first fermenter came from it was one fermenter. We started off with one fermenter. By the time we got open, we had 3.
Okay.
But the first fermenter, I drove up to Eugene, Oregon, to a place called King Estates Winery. And at one point in time, King Estates was going to open a brewery, I guess, and they didn't. They sold everything off, and they had a fermenter left over. So I made an offer, and they took it, and I drove up in my pickup truck and bought this fermenter, not knowing that that's probably not a good idea.
It didn't fit in the pickup truck?
No, it fit, but okay. So picture the shape of a fermenter with the cone hanging out the back of the pickup truck, tailgate down. They put it on a pallet, strapped the whole thing down. They managed to load it up, which was great.
How many barrel fermenter?
About a 10-barrel fermenter.
Okay, all right.
So we have this thing now in the back of our pickup truck that looks like a rocket engine.
Yeah.
Except we can only go about 50 miles an hour the entire way from Eugene, Oregon to Sacramento, California on I-5.
So you're either going to Burning Man, and this is your rocket ship art car, or you're hauling your brewery back to Sacramento.
Or
could be both.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Getting passed by angry truckers on I-5 is never fun.
Right. Okay.
And then the 2 other fermenters that kind of made up the rest of our initial brew house was used out of Ladyface in L.A. area.
Oh, yeah.
So we just found a good deal from them, and they sent them up. And
what about the cardboard one?
So
How is it? What's that?
It's cardboard. It's literally cardboard, layers upon layers upon layers of cardboard until you get about a 2-inch thick wall. And that 2-inch thick wall makes a box, and then strategically placed holes in places that make this box a fermenter. Now there's a food-grade plastic liner, of course, that becomes the actual vessel that holds it, and the box is just the shape that keeps everything in place.
I see.
So this was a real thing. It wasn't just someone you got at a refrigerator and you guys needed an extra fermenter.
No,
right.
It's built onto a pallet, so it's pretty much a 4x4 square or a cube in our case. And it has this food-grade bag in it, and since we were doing our Saison in it, so we didn't require the same level of temperature control. And so we just let it kind of ferment at ambient temperature and see what happens.
Was it meant for another industry, or did they build it for breweries?
No, it wasn't meant for breweries. It was probably meant for like hauling juice around for wine or cider or something else, or juice maybe.
Or actual juice.
Real juice for the sake of being juice.
Yeah.
So it had a lid.
I don't understand that at all.
It had a lid, and so it was closed, or was it an open?
I hit a zip tie.
Well, the bag sealed.
Like Ziploc.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So you could open it up, pitch, whatever you had to do.
The bag was fully sealed all the way around, and so you would actually have to fill it as you would a fermenter through
through a port.
Through one of the holes.
We would put one of our tri-clamps on it and tie it down and really just pump it in.
How many batches did you do in that?
Oh, I don't know, 3 or 4.
Nice.
It was our first year. We mostly did our saison. We might have done one of our stouts out of that one.
Okay.
But we just made do with what we had. That was the $300 investment versus the $7,000 it takes to get a real fermenter.
Well, and I like your thought process, too. You brew a style in it that the temperature isn't such an issue.
It allows for, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, what volume did that hold?
Sorry?
What volume was it? How many barrels? 1, 2, 3.
Quick, somebody do the math on 4x4x4.
Oh, but you filled it up. It was a full,
yeah.
it was 4 feet tall.
That's quite a bit of
We
volume,
could only brew a, we had a 7-barrel, roughly, about 8.5-barrel kettle, but we could only yield 6.5. So
But you did a full batch.
Yeah,
Put it
absolutely.
in.
Yeah.
How'd that first saison come out?
Well, the one we put into that one turned out just fine. The first saison we ever brewed, we burned the shit out of that thing.
Oh. It was a little cardboardy oxidation, maybe.
Cardboard.
I don't know.
We still have the cardboard fermenter.
Nice.
It is still
I got to
stored
see
away
this thing.
upstairs.
I love this idea.
Yeah. We just made do with what we had. I mean,
as you should.
Resources are tough.
Yeah.
How did you sanitize that?
You're funny.
Yeah.
We threw the bag away. Come on.
Throw a new one in.
Sanitary bag.
Maybe we threw the bag away. I don't know.
Or maybe we just filled it back up.
Yeah.
A farmhouse saison
You
coming
just
up
keep
next.
it going.
That's right.
Man.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, what about now the brew house from the Chinese/sushi place in the desert? Never eat sushi in the desert.
Right.
Fish don't live there.
No.
We're still brewing in that kettle.
How many barrels is that brewery?
They
7? Or?
It adds up to about a 10 hectoliter, so 8.5.
Okay.
Full flood volume, but we yield 6.5 to 7 out of that thing.
So how many vessels is this system? I was trying to look online a little bit.
So that's what we started with. We started with that kettle and an electric hot liquor tank, and then it came with 6 Grundies.
Okay.
6 little 6-barrel Grundy tanks that we could just store our beer in. So no real fermenters, and we've also used those Grundies for fermenting when we need to. We use them for serving officially, but every once in a while we'll have to ferment, and one of them we'll just pull it out and
It's on wheels, right?
roll it around. Yeah.
So is it an extract brewery then?
No, we went all grain right out of the gate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So is your kettle a dual as a mash tun? Then?
No, so the mash tun is probably the more interesting part of the story you want to get to. We custom fabricated our mash tun. So we had this old dairy tank, open top. The lid just kind of comes off, and we were trying to figure out how to do this. Do we put a false bottom screen at the bottom, but then we can't get the mash out? How do we do this? So we fabricated a mash basket. So a guy in Sacramento area, he Mac Henderson, stainless steel welder guy, does really good quality work for breweries around town, and he did this custom mash basket. So picture like the spaghetti pot with the inset strainer colander thing, and you pull out the colander, the noodles stay in, all the liquid falls behind. Well, same concept, right? We've already pumped the wort out of the mash tun over to the kettle, and what's left is just that damp grain bed. And then we would drive the forklift in, lift this mash basket out of the mash tun tub, and then drop it over a bin. It had a stainless chain with a kind of a trapdoor mechanism on it, and so the bottom would drop out, and our whole grain bed would just come falling out. We still have to scoop out a little bit of it, but
wow.
But mostly it was like other than having to use the forklift, it was a pretty quick and mostly novel mash out process.
Why is it novel? I mean, why don't more places have that setup?
Because it's horribly inefficient. It is.
So you did a batch sparge, basically. You didn't do a fly sparge at all. You just.
Oh no! And then we actually, that lid was outfitted so that we could sparge. And, it was. It
But you didn't have
worked
a full.
out.
Okay. So So the basket was raised enough.
Yeah.
That in essence you had a false bottom.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that basket set inside.
It wasn't all the way down.
We still had another
dead space.
6 inches of dish
I got
underneath.
you.
And if it was perforated on the sides, you would even get extraction out the sides, not even.
No,
straight down
we
to the
kept
bottom.
it perforated only on the bottom.
Oh,
Okay. So low efficiency, and then if it were a bigger system, it would just be too impractical to be
labor
able to get
inefficient.
Right. Labor inefficient.
Labor inefficient.
Oh, but
yeah.
it's extraction efficiency's fine.
We were doing just fine on it. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a small mash tun, so it was a small mash tun. It made it really difficult to do a double IPA.
Okay.
So we really didn't do a lot of it. That played into why we didn't do a lot of high gravity beers out of the gate, because it was really difficult to pull that off all the time.
Sure.
And then all that grain goes out the door to our local pig farmer, but every time the forklift comes in, does the unload and dump, and that gets to be, even though it's the forklift is doing the literally heavy lifting, it just becomes a sort of a tedious thing to have this forklift running around right next to your brew house.
Yeah.
So there's a big brewery that's Beechwood aged, and everybody has their slogan. We're kind of forklift brewed, I guess. I don't know.
I like it. I say market it.
Yeah.
Put a forklift on the T-shirt and go for it, man.
Yeah.
How is the kettle fired? How's that heated up?
So we're doing a direct fire right now, and,
Okay.
and that thing is it's a flamethrower.
Yeah.
It just shoots a big ass 400,000 max BTU flame at the bottom of this kettle.
Wow. And the same with the mash tun? Is that fired?
So the mash tun is so the old mash tun, we just heated it off of the. So first we'd boil the kettle with water, use that water plus the hot liquor tank water, and we would just use that for our brew days.
Okay.
And then we'd capture some of it back in the hot liquor tank when we could, but that mash tun didn't allow for a lot of that. So
I see.
But now we've since upgraded to a slightly newer system. Instead of the rescue, well, it's still the same. Instead of the custom mash tun mash basket concept, we actually have a real combi unit, hot liquor tank on the bottom, mash tun on the top, real V-groove false bottom, the whole works. It's fancy. It's state of the art to us. This thing was built in like 1992.
Okay.
Oh wow, nice.
That's state of the art, man.
Heck yeah.
I like your philosophy that you got. You did with what you could get, and you made it work, and you grow as you go.
We can't afford to do it otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's
the only thing that matters is the beer that comes out of it anyway.
Exactly. I wonder about this though. With some breweries start off and they're just beautifully constructed, shiny, everything perfect brew houses, and there's always this feeling of sort of brew house envy. I think a lot of brewers experience this. Fermenter envy. Like, oh wow, that's really tall.
That's really big.
But I think there's probably some value to struggling a bit,
sure,
and working your way through it and figuring shit out and kind of
Well, if you don't have $500,000, you don't have much choice.
Yeah, we
showroom
didn't have
breweries
that choice.
are not the majority of
Right.
breweries that are opening up.
Right.
Like
They're just the ones that we hear about.
Right. The
but
new
they're
Surly
not.
one that's like $40 million, and it's a giant 3-story window from their tasting room into their like beautiful showroom brewery that they have.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like it's beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
But
that's how the Brewing Network. We're going to open our brewery that way. It'll be just be massive.
just beautiful to look at.
Yeah. I don't know who's going to pay for it, but it'll be something else.
Yes, when it happens.
Yeah.
No one will ever use it.
Yeah.
We'll just look at it.
It's actually going to be right here next to the fountain in the courtyard behind us. It'll be a little more beer system.
The biggest more beer system ever
that
made,
we can find. That's right.
The fountain will just be a little China hat. It'll be great.
It will be shiny. That's all that we really care about.
Just make sure you struggle.
Yeah, it's a little bit of struggle.
Trust me, we have. We're doing it right now.
10 years of struggling.
Got to fight for it.
Now, you're the founder of New Helvetia. How many people work at the company?
So myself and my brewmaster, Brian Cofresi, we're sort of the core group, and it's still a small team. I think we only have 8 or 9. I should be able to count to 9. I can't remember, but we just recently brought on 2 new employees, like kind of sales and helping out in the brew house. And,
okay. And do you still have a day job? Or
No,
this is
no,
it? You went right for it.
Yeah, heck yeah, full-time volunteer.
So I'm always surprised we have we have so many people in here who don't go right for it. I always find out, no, we're still working our day job. It's 3 years into the brewery, and I'm always surprised to hear that because it's a lot of work.
It's tough. It's really tough.
Are you out doing sales every day as well?
I'm selling. I'm doing most of the marketing and social media. I actually design most of the print ads that we do. I do payroll. I do all of the legal and regulatory stuff. It's a lot. And as I learn and get theoretically better at this, I delegate more and bring more of the talented people that we already have on board at New Helvetia, give them more duties and more responsibility, and almost every time they step up, and I got a great team, so it's wonderful.
What was your job before you got into the brewery?
Commercial real estate development.
Okay. So you had a leg up on finding the space.
Yeah, I knew exactly what the space was, and I already knew the demographics of the neighborhood. And I knew what the lease rates were on Broadway, so yeah.
You're ready to go. I don't know why you didn't put a no homeless guy clause in the lease, but maybe next time.
Can't anticipate every contingency.
Yeah.
That's an act of God clause.
I guess you're right. Yeah. A guy passes out on your sidewalk. That's an act of God.
Well, it's an act of Joe clause. Right. Really.
Yeah.
Where'd you find your brewmaster, Brian?
So he was working for a long time at one of my neighboring breweries at River City at Downtown Plaza. So right now River City is sort of in the process of, I think they're trying to find a new home since the Kings Arena is getting built at Downtown Plaza, which is right where their brewery is. And so they're on their way.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
Elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know where. I really hope that they stay nearby in downtown or in... I've said, hey, man, there's a couple vacant spots over here on Broadway. Move in next door to me. You get a little cluster of breweries right next to each other. I'd be all for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Brian was working there for like 12, 13 years. He'd been the brewmaster there for a long time, making really great beer and kind of seemed to be in a creative rut.
Okay.
So when I offered him this, first I was just kind of going to him for advice. Like, hey, man, I'm starting this brewery thing. What do you think I should do? And he'd tell me all of his, he'd download just like, oh, well, do this, don't you dare do this, very sort of I know brewing judgmental kind of thing.
Sure.
What was he most...
That's helpful, though. You need that.
Yeah.
What was he most insistent you shouldn't do?
Do not be a contract brewer.
Oh, yeah?
That was his biggest advice to me.
Because, what was he worried about?
Reputation, I think. I mean, understand it for what it is. He's a brewer in a brewery.
Yeah.
And so seeing, contract brewers that are putting beer on the market without having a brewery, there's some kind of issues with...
A little disconnect there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They didn't do the struggle, right? They didn't build the brewery. They haven't gone through the struggle.
I see.
And so I think that was part of his philosophy. And the thing is, I wasn't opposed to the contract brewing concept. I was looking at that as an option. I was looking at an alternating proprietorship as an option. I was... Anything and everything that could make this dream of mine happen was on the table.
Yeah.
And Brian really pushed me in a direction to build a real brewery. Build a brewery in a building with a home where people can come and see it, talk to you, tap on the tanks, see what's written on the tanks, what's coming up next, what's on deck, talk to the people.
Oh, don't be like a gypsy brewer, not like don't be one of those guys who brews a bunch of beer for everybody kind of things.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah. A brewery that has a foundation.
Has a home. Yeah.
So how'd it go from conversation to employment?
Really, it just kind of was, hey, I want to start this thing, and enough conversations into it. I was like, maybe this is the guy.
Sure.
Maybe this is the guy, and I'll ask him. Let's see. And I'll plead ignorance on this one because I didn't know how big River City was or how the brewing world really worked. But I kind of poached him. You get down to it. I was like, hey, Brian, you want to come over to New Helvetia? And
he's like, I'm meeting with this sushi joint up in Carson City. And look, when I get back, we're ready to go.
Yeah. And for like the first 6 months of us getting open, he was working both breweries.
Okay.
And then finally they brought in another brewmaster and well after that, then the Kings deal kind of happened and it's kind of started moving them in another direction. But we got our footing down, and Brian's been making some great beer. He's got a GABF Gold under his belt 2 years in at New Helvetia. It's pretty cool.
I'm not sure how I feel about the struggle advice. Having been through the struggle and in very much still part of the struggle after 10 years.
That's right, brother.
I'm starting to feel like, I get it. Everyone should go through a little bit of difficulty, but...
A little bit.
Maybe it's not necessary. Take this, for example. Your kids. Right? Now, you want your kids, you don't want to get everything with a silver spoon. You want them to learn a little bit. Right. But do they have to, sleep on a crackhead's couch like I did for a couple of months to make it? Or do you want them to bypass that part of the struggle?
Well, look at you now. Oh, well, yeah, never mind.
Right. And so,
Kate's a crackhead?
And I'm just thinking out loud here. I just started to feel like I do think you got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. But certain things like contract brewing, if you have a good grasp of your brand and your beer and you're controlling it, I'm not so sure that everything has to be part of the struggle anymore. Well, I think I'm just changing my opinion because I used to feel exactly like that. No, if you didn't dig in the trenches, then fuck you. And now I feel like, God, the trenches really suck.
Right.
And there's no end to them either.
Right, when does the trench? Where's the ladder?
Life becomes a trench.
Yeah.
You just dig in it. Yeah. Part of the I think maybe his advice was if your goal is to actually have your own brewery, getting into contracting is not necessarily the way you want to do it because best case, you contract brew and you're really successful and everything. Now your job is continuing to contract brew, just managing sales and everything else. You're not going to have time to later on open up a brewery of your own.
That's a good point.
There is a cost benefit to that.
It's better to just slug through it in the beginning, get your own brew up and running versus thinking, I'll contract brew, things will be great, I'll have a brand, everything else will be nice. But you're going to be busy just maintaining that brand that you've built.
You could apply that same logic though to why start at 10 barrel? You shouldn't. You should go for a bigger system.
30.
There's a huge cost benefit. To that or capital raising.
Where do you draw the line at the quote unquote struggle? Everything's a struggle. You open a new business, you could have a $50 million brew house. You're still struggling.
Getting up in the morning.
You got to get up in the morning.
That's a struggle.
But you got to do shit. You still got to figure out how to work your product and sell it and all that kind of stuff. So whether you're brewing 3 barrels or 300 barrels, you're still working. It's still struggling. So everyone goes through it no matter what. It's just money helps cushion that a little bit.
Maybe if I had worked this whole time, it would have been easier. Maybe that is the secret. You have to work.
How come we get yelled at for not working, but
because somebody's got to work.
It takes work to yell at people.
Yeah,
it takes a toll on them.
If you know how hard that is,
you were working. It turns
this
out
hurts
beer
me
knows that
more than it hurts you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Can you tell Warren works for Jamil or not?
He knows. Yeah, Beardy's like, it's very much the struggle. Yes. I must struggle.
Yeah.
Jamil tells me so. It's written on. It's painted on the Heretic Brewery walls. Right. You must struggle. Yeah.
He's not allowed to wear laces in his boots or belts anymore to work.
Struggle.
To
keep your clothes on. Well, before we run out of time, let's try another beer and talk about Sacramento Beer Week as well, because are you president of the NorCal Brewers Guild? Do I have that right?
Somebody thought it was a good idea to elect me president, and I really did it sort of out of duty, I think.
Yeah.
Duty.
Clearly they thought you were dedicated, so...
Yeah, well, it's actually it's an honor and it's a privilege, and I got to be invited here, which is kind of way cool. By the way, this is the most professional podcast I've ever seen.
Thanks. Although that's
how many have you seen?
I've seen a few, and it's usually
I see the second half of it.
It's like an iPod and a microphone.
We all passed around a MacBook and spoken to this.
Well, none of
those podcasts are struggling.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. None of this stuff works. There's actually an iPad underneath this big mixing board.
It's all for show.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, Sacramento Beer Week. I guess this is the commercial aspect of it for me. February 26th through March 8th, and Sacramento just has a ton of wonderful events happening. Kicking it off with Sacramento Brewers Showcase. What's that? February 26th at Capitol. That's the
Capitol Brewers
Auto Museum, California Auto Museum.
Okay. Got it.
And that's kind of Sacramento only. It's like our time to shine and just have our own little Sacramento-centric party, which is kind of fun. And then the whole week in between is all the bars, restaurants, tap rooms, breweries, everywhere. They're just doing their own their own thing. So there'll be 300 plus events throughout the week.
Wow.
And it's a long week, right? 11 days.
Yeah, ours too. When we just had it's 12. It's too many days.
Yeah. And then the big capper, of course, is our Capitol Beer Fest and the grand finale. And that one will be at Capitol Mall. So you're kind of in between the Tower Bridge and the State Capitol building, and 110 breweries and a ton of food trucks, and
that's a lot of breweries.
A lot of breweries. It's a big deal. It's a fun one. I mean, it's not that far.
Yeah.
Took me an hour to get here, guys.
It's not that far.
You should be broadcasting from there.
Yeah. We've tried to make that happen before. You guys went to a couple events last year. Moscow,
a couple years ago.
A couple years ago
Moscow
now.
I went, yeah.
People, you can go to sacbeerweek.com and check it out. Are you going to do some events at New Helvetia?
Yeah. We're launching a lot of the stuff we try to do is more community-based. So we're doing a partnership with a kind of they're going to be the largest public art project, I think, in Northern California or in our area. I don't know. It's a big deal. It's called the Bright Underbelly, and they're painting a mural on the underside of an elevated freeway.
Nice.
Above our Sunday Farmers Market location in Sacramento. And that's about 10 blocks from my brewery. And I approached the artists that were doing that and asked them if they wanted to perhaps work with us on making a beer modeled after this kind of concept that they're doing. So they were excited about the idea. We're having the launch and release party of that beer on Wednesday. So it's called the Bright Underbelly Bergamot IPA.
Nice.
And so we're going to do a citrus zest with a bergamot orange, which is, if you're familiar with Earl Grey tea, that's the citrus in Earl Grey tea. And,
okay.
Yeah.
So you kicked your squatters out of their house at your brewery, and now you're kicking them out of their new home in the underpass
under the
so
bridge.
you can paint
Absolutely
it?
not.
Where are these people supposed to live?
We're making it pretty for them.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're going to spend that much time laying on your back and looking up. Might as well be a mural there.
Right.
That's what I always say.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they see a mural regardless if there's really one or not.
Yeah. Pretty.
And then in the homebrewing world, you guys know Annie Johnson.
Yeah.
Sure.
So she's with a company now called Pico Brew.
Never heard of it.
And okay, Pico.
No, we know all about it.
Okay, so she's going to do a Pico Brew Day at our spot, and then we're doing
awesome.
On a separate event. We're hosting Big Mike Moore for a beer talk. So Big Mike will come out and talk about everything he knows about beer, which is a lot. That guy is
excellent.
Nothing but knowledge, and he's like 8.5 feet tall.
Okay.
He knows a lot about food.
So he's pretty big.
Yeah, he's a little big.
Big Mike.
All right, it sounds like a fun week. And the beer that's in our glass is your double IPA?
Indomitable City Double IPA.
Wow. It does literally kind of taste like the big brother to the IPA. A lot of pineapple hops, I think, coming out of there, and just sort of a bigger version of it. Is it a very similar recipe, just bigger? Or?
Not really. It's an entirely different recipe, but just turned out that, batch to batch at a small brewery.
Yeah.
Man, it could be one thing one day and another thing that's the second brew day, and we just hope for something relatively close. Consistency, I think, is a great goal.
Sure.
Just that.
But close, you'll take it.
It's like the horizon.
Yeah.
Super fruity. What kind of hops are you using?
Good question. We should ask the brewer.
Yeah, I was talking to him before the show, and he's a lot like me. I don't know. I know the beer. I know what the beer's supposed to taste like. I don't know the ingredients. I don't know the hops. So I said, well, we'll just talk about the beer in general then.
All right.
So in other words, it's the type of brewer that I am.
Okay.
Love beer, super passionate about beer. I can't tell you shit about it.
No. It's wet. I don't even really know.
There's water in it, probably.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe.
Dave's too busy doing everything else to know what the hops are.
Oh, yeah. I understand.
But that's where I think, though...
It has a really nice hop character, just so much fruit. It's been a while since I've had a beer that has had this much and this strong of hop fruit.
And Beardy, is it me or is it a similar hop profile to the IPA, the one we had just before it?
The red IPA?
Yeah, I'm tasting the same fruit characteristics, less of them, in the red IPA too. No?
I think they're similar. This one has a bit more variety, I think.
Okay.
In it.
In the double?
Yeah.
Are you suggesting we have a style?
Yeah. You might have a style.
You have a house flavor
Might
already?
have a house flavor.
Justin, I just want to clarify. They're similar. They're not kind of the same as. Because that's what you say. You're like, can't you tell the difference? Aren't there like,
I'm saying there's
similarities? And Warren goes, no, they're similar.
But that's what I'm saying.
I know. That's why I
Thank
made
you
the
for
joke.
clarifying.
Yeah, I was fucking with Warren.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Beardy. Thank you. I feel like I was speaking kung fu there. I just move my lips and it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about mailing it in. So, is there a website for this Sacramento Beer Week? Not that we can't Google it.
Yeah, I just did. It's sacbeerweek.com. You can go look up all the events there, get the dates. There's a little video, a promo video going on there to show you what's happening, get everybody excited about Sac Beer Week. Go to sacbeerweek.com and check it out. And then, of course, you can go to newhelvetiabrew.com to check out Dave's website, and you got a list of the beers there. You got a little more backstory, and you can contact him to find out where you can get the beer yourself. Dave, thanks for being on the show, man.
It's been grand, man. Thank you, guys.
It's been a good time. I know we got your beer on tap here now at the Hop Grenade, so I encourage people to come on down this week while we still have it. Check out some new Helvetia, and maybe we'll find them on tap again somewhere soon as well. Are you in other places down here in the Bay Area?
No, not hardly at all.
Exclusive to the Grenade.
It's hard for us to get down here.
I bet.
But I do have it on good authority that this chocolate beer might be making an appearance here.
It should.
Awesome.
Oh, it's such a great beer. That's the one. I'm telling you right now. That's the one.
That's your anomaly.
Nitro then.
Yeah, nitro it. Do it.
No, don't do that.
Do it
No.
10 different ways. Just the shit out of it, whatever you do. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
good
Great,
advice.
yeah.
It might be hard to bring beer here, but remember, it's all part of the struggle.
That's right. That's absolutely
I'm
right.
all about the struggle.
Well, you're going to have to struggle to get that invoice paid.
Yeah, when you drop that beer down here, Dave. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got some more going on. We're going to talk to the White Labs crew. We're going to do some beer news, and lots happening tonight. So hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let badass bitch Jade and the gadget guy Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California, and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com.
If you don't know Yeastman, you're missing out. White Labs Yeast Manager, Yeastman, is available free to any brewer. Yeastman is your direct link to White Labs' yeast production facility. Yes, you can check yeast availability, and yes, you can place an order, but Yeastman is much more. View yeast quality control and analytical reports. See your big QC Day entries and reports. Get access to the entire White Labs catalog, specials on overruns of freshly made yeast, and customized options for your account. Yeastman is the only real-time online ordering in the business connected directly to factory production. Yeastman is always on and always live. It's the largest online marketplace for specialty brewers' yeast and related products. Visit yeastman.com today and tap directly into White Labs' production facility. Gonna brew? Yeastman to the rescue.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a Certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious, Cicerones microphones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at Cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today. Adventures in Homebrewing has the knowledge and expertise to craft their own gear and original recipes. Some of the things homebrewing.org creates and manufactures in-house are the Brutus brew stands and propane burners, the Serial Killer adjustable 2-roller grain mill with 7-pound hopper, custom stainless steel false bottoms designed to fit kegels, coolers, and mini-sized brew pots. The brewers at Adventures in Homebrewing have designed a huge selection of original recipes for extract and all-grain brewing. Adventures in Homebrewing original recipes are tried and tested, proven to be of the best quality. And right now, Adventures in Homebrewing is shipping 24 of their best recipes for free. Visit homebrewing.org for the most current selection. Once you try one of Adventures in Homebrewing recipes, you'll keep coming back for more. And now, it's even easier with free shipping on these kits. Brewing Network listeners receive 10% off their homebrewing.org orders when they use coupon code IPA at checkout. See terms and conditions for full details.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for sticking with us while we ate burritos at the break. Oh, burritos. I don't know what I would do without Mexican food. I'm just going to declare that to the world right now.
You would be 10 pounds lighter.
I'd be 10 pounds lighter and
that's
a lot,
pretty good Mexican food across
and a lot
the park.
Unhappier. It is. I think that it's made by Mexicans, for one, which is helpful.
Yeah. Italians or something.
Yeah.
I think that's the first ingredient in good Mexican food.
Is it Mexican?
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow.
And, oh, God, I don't know what I'd do without Mexican food.
It's good.
So good. All right. Our next guest on today's program is Mr. Trolls Prawl. He's from White Labs.
Trolls.
And they've got a new venture happening, and I wanted to get Trolls on here to talk all about it with us. Hey, Trolls, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How's it going?
It's going very well. Welcome back to America.
Thank you. Thanks for calling. It's been pouring down rain in San Diego today.
Oh, is that right? That never happens. You must have brought that with you.
I know.
Trolls, where are you normally? Copenhagen, right?
Yeah, I'm in Copenhagen.
And you did spend some time out here living in the States working for White Labs, didn't you?
Right. I've been in the States on off since 2007, but recently moved back after being here permanently or as permanent as 3 years is. And then so now the family's back in Copenhagen, and it's awesome.
Beautiful.
Is leaving the States and going back to Copenhagen like getting out early from parole? And then you live the free life, and then you, like, blow a red light and have to go back into prison because you break parole?
Is it like that?
It's, close. It's kind of like walking into a chest freezer.
Yeah? Okay.
And, like, stubbing your toe, or what do you mean?
Yeah. Well, and here, Charles has a secret. He has a trick, too.
I bet he does.
He didn't leave America empty-handed. He brought home an American broad with him.
Oh!
Yeah. And a child as well, right?
That's true.
Like your own child?
She's 50-50, so she'll adapt a little better, I think.
The child? Yeah.
Trying to dilute freedom?
Yeah.
That's right. Charles, what is your title? What's your position at White Labs?
Well, I'm heading the research and development department. So really what that means is that I try to fix things when it's broken. And, I try to help make things a little bit better. And the reason I'm here in San Diego right now is we're doing an awesome project installing a big brew house and switching from growing our yeast on extract to growing it from an all-grain brew. So it's a big deal, big 25-barrel brew house.
I saw that when I was there. You guys are actually putting in a White Labs brewery, which is not the announcement we're here to talk about, but another great thing that you guys are doing.
Yeah, so that just falls under me, all that stuff, and the big build-out with the flex cell technology has been my project, and now Copenhagen is what it's about.
So let's talk about that. Now, we've announced that you guys have a location being built in North Carolina, but now you guys are also building a White Labs satellite location in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's correct. So I'm Danish. I'm from there. So it was an easy sell for me to jump on that wave of what's going on right now in Europe, where there's more and more American craft beer influence and more craft breweries altogether. So Copenhagen is one of the hotspots where it's really going down, and we just had a really awesome opportunity of putting in a small lab, bringing us a little bit closer to our existing European customers, and hopefully helping fueling some of that growth that's going on right now.
So fresh yeast to Europe, essentially, is what Copenhagen gets to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the yeast, it works well to ship it all over the world, which we do now. It actually works pretty good, but it's really expensive because everything is overnighted or as close as you can get to that with, the FedEx and UPS and whatever courier. So a brewery in Europe would end up paying half of the total cost to FedEx. So we're trying to help out. We have some good distributors there, but producing it local is, of course, going to make it a lot more price competitive and fresher.
Fantastic. How did the conversation go with Chris? Did Chris White say, "Hey, Trolls, where should we open another location?" Copenhagen.
yeah, kind of. I don't know if he even completed location.
Does
hey,
he know
Trolls, where should we? Copenhagen.
Does he know he can't drive his RV there?
Yeah.
Now, I've just been shouting Copenhagen in any conversation we've had about anything, and then after a little bit, it struck what the question was actually about.
Sure. Chris White's more of a Kodiak
but it's
man.
good. I've been timing him well. I actually met Chris in Copenhagen, I think 11 years ago. So he likes coming there. He has like a secret little thing going with the city. I think he keeps coming back. So it wasn't really a hard sell.
Okay. Now, it's not just that you guys have opened this great new location where you're going to be able to propagate and distribute yeast with the new Pure Pitch technology, but you've also partnered with another venture there for your location, right?
Yeah, it's cool. We're pretty stoked about the idea of setting up a small lab and kind of let it organically grow. And an old friend of mine is Mikkel of Mikkeller. And I started talking to him about us coming to Copenhagen and seeing what was going down there. And he let me in on their plans to open a pretty ambitious brew pub right in the center of Copenhagen with Three Floyds.
Nice.
From Indiana. Yeah. So they went really big on a really nice brew pub, little 10 hectoliter system and Texas-style barbecue, which is something that does not exist there.
That's interesting. Wow. Charles, tell me about give me your inside opinion on Texas barbecue in Copenhagen. Is this going to be, is it going to go over like mad, or people are going to think you're mad?
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point.
Okay.
Yeah, everything those guys are doing is kind of far out, and then it's going to win people over eventually. And it's really nice because, Mikkeller is doing things pretty full on. I think people would agree to that in the beer community, and so are Three Floyds, and they're going all in. I mean, I think they can smoke a whole ton of meat at once in their smokers, and the brewery is beautiful, and it's staffed with people from, American craft brew scene that really can and cooking scene for that matter that can really bring it in. So
beautiful. What's it called?
Cool.
What's the place called?
They call it War Pigs, so that's kind of their
Love it.
brand. Yeah, check it out. Follow it on whatever social media you can find it. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and the thing with that is that they were doing the brew pub together and making this new, really cool adventure right in the center of Copenhagen in the old meatpacking district, which is just a very cool old butcher part of town. And they had some extra space, so basically the same thing again. I just yelled White Labs until they...
They're like, we have this extra room. We don't know what to do with
White Labs.
But it's kind of in the back where nobody's...
White Labs.
And it seems nice, but I don't know who to give it to.
White Labs.
And that's how you got it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly
right.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome because, it's just one of those true win-wins. It makes sense for us to have, the brewery right there, and we produce our wort from their brewery or on their brewery, and they have the yeast right there and a beautiful lab. So it's good. Lunch break's going to be good with some barbecue.
That is a good lunch break.
Can't beat those meats. So you mentioned small lab. Does that mean small output, or does it mean small number of customers? Like, say, for instance, Stone Brewing Berlin wants to pitch for a 100 hectoliter batch. Yeah. Can you deliver that, or is that too big?
Or for tiny laboratory people?
Right, no, we can do that. Mm-hmm. It's a relatively small system, but we can supply. It's mainly going to be 10-barrel size orders, but we can produce, I don't know exactly how much we can produce, but we can fulfill a good chunk of the existing European business. But sure. It's certainly not a big build-out like San Diego or like Asheville will be, but hopefully it'll grow out of it at a certain point. But it's also going to act as a nice bridge to the existing, distributors that are in Europe and all that stuff. So we can produce what we can produce, and then we can expand as needed, and we can get from the U.S. facilities and kind of distribute from there and help some of those customers out on the freight costs. So, and a local presence is always awesome.
Are you going to be using wort from the brew pub to prop up the yeast there?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So all grain there as well.
Yeah.
So are European home brewers going to have access to small pitch? The packs?
They already have a very good access in Denmark, and hopefully we can facilitate that. We won't be packaging for homebrew out of that system for a little while because it's a little labor intensive and equipment heavy. So San Diego is going to be spitting out those homebrew pure pitch packages for now, but
and that's timely enough.
There, we might expand.
All right.
And just to give you an idea, too, of the White Labs growth, I was just there, too. So we had BNA 5-ish? What did we do San Diego?
Six?
Eight,
I think.
No, it was more than 2 years ago.
7. It was 5 years.
It was 2011.
I think 6.
6.
All right. So anyhow, we did that at the White Labs building, which they're still in, just before they opened. It was kind of their grand opening. That was building 1. As of today, they're working on building 3 in the same vicinity. They took one. There's one across the street, and now they've taken the building next door as well. All part of this awesome pure pitch technology, so that they can manufacture the way they want to. Plus the North Carolina location, and now this ability to deliver fresh yeast on a good budget in Copenhagen.
Chiller Rock.
Yeah. So, Charles, you've been in it since you've been with them for years now, and really seen this thing grow. It must be pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I don't know how many people we were when I first started, 2007, probably 15, maybe not even that. And I don't know, we probably have, across all the facilities, because Davis is going now too, and and we have our sales office in Boulder, Colorado, and a few remote people. I think we're getting bigger and bigger. We're certainly approaching 80 or 100 employees. So that's really awesome to see.
It's exciting because it's all in the name of fresh yeast is what I see. All of the moves that I see being made is so that you guys can get more fresh yeast to the people that are next to you. So I love it.
Yeah,
this is
and
the
help
first,
out because it's such an involved scene. You know, nobody wants, no matter if they're home brewers or if they're pro brewers, nobody wants to just order their yeast and never even think about it. Everybody wants some advice. Everybody wants to talk to the brewers or guys like us that can give some advice. So the local presence is just really it's really helped out where we've been.
Love it. Go ahead, Beardy.
I was wondering, this is the first I've heard about switching from extract to all grain in terms of propagation. Is there a benefit in terms of the yeast health for that, or what's the motivation behind that?
Yeah, it's something we've been not really talking a lot about, but we have been working on it for years and years. And it basically is just another step of gaining more control over raw materials, because we want to make sure that the bugs have the perfect environment and that we can produce a wort essentially that has completely the color and the nutrient composition and everything about it that we want. So going from all grain is, you know, adding some of the same benefits as it does in any other brewery, but for us, it's more about controlling the nutritional composition of that. And, you know, there's a green element to it as well, because evaporation and all that stuff from essentially what is wort already and drying it down to a liquid form is a little heavy on it. So us going from grain is helping with this new, much greener propagation technology.
Awesome.
And we like to brew. I think that's probably what it is.
We actually just really like to brew as well.
Nice.
Well, this will be good for the White Labs tasting room, too, to get some beer in the tasting room out of this real brewery. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. I didn't even talk about that. But, yeah, that's going to be awesome. We're going to continue to brew and steal some of the batches from the big system and still split into smaller fermenters and hopefully get a much better quality, much more consistent product in our tasting room that's just going to blow people away, I think.
It's very exciting. I love it. All right, Trolls, well, I want to come visit when War Pigs White Labs is open and
Do it.
Check out the new place. And I think it's the perfect time to finally pull the trigger on going to Copenhagen and seeing you guys.
Copenhagen
Absolutely,
barbecue.
you should. There will be a lot of official openings and a lot of fun events in the month of May. I think that's where it's going to go down. We might open a little bit before then, but month of May, there's the Copenhagen Beer Celebration that's put on by Mick Miller, and there's the Copenhagen Beer Festival in late May as well, and we'll be having events all that month.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing the news with us, Trolls, and good luck to you guys out there.
Of course.
All right,
Good talking
brother.
to you guys.
Cheers.
I'll come up and see you there.
Do it.
Please do.
Take care.
See you, brother.
Trolls.
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 Troll's a good dude. They're going to be having some fun out there, you can be sure. Let me let you know also that if you're planning on going to the Craft Brewers Conference this year, which is up in Portland, Oregon, White Labs is putting on a yeast handling for brewers class, cropping, storing, and propagation. They're going to do it right there in Portland. Basically, it'll happen, I think, right before the conference. The event date is Tuesday, April 14th. And early registration, you save $50. So make sure that you register soon. Registration looks like March 14th. Get in there. It's going to be a full class because of the Craft Brewers Conference. But if you haven't done one of the White Labs courses, pro brewers, amateur brewers, doesn't really matter. They're all fantastic. Yeast handling for brewers, cropping, storing, and propagation. It's happening April 14th. So go to whitelabs.com. You can click on the banner. It's a huge image right there on their homepage for classes, and you'll see it there. Sign up early and save yourself $50. It's worth every penny. So go in there and check it out. All right. We're going to take another quick break.
Okay.
First, I'm going to let you know about Adam and Eve. AdamandEve.com. You go right now, you get a bunch of stuff.
Cool stuff.
How much stuff?
That's all I got to say, right?
A bunch.
I mean, everybody knows, right?
Yeah.
Use coupon code BNARMY. Go to AdamandEve.com. If you're not getting enough, you can get more with AdamandEve.com. 10 free gifts. You'll get sexy surprises for her, specialty selected toy for him, and then a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. I don't know what full length is. Could be a couple of inches. It could be
4 minutes.
Does anybody watch him all the way through?
I mean, maybe over the course of a week.
Well, you need to know how Rebecca gets involved in the pizza place in the first place.
That's true.
Or else you can't finish.
That's yeah.
There needs to be context.
There's got to be some context.
What is she doing bent over the dishwasher?
Spinning dough. I don't get it.
Why did her cable go out? And why didn't she have to call the cable company? Why did they show up automatically?
I don't know, but I can't finish unless I know.
Right. It doesn't make sense. You're sitting there going, oh, she's really hot, but why don't get it?
I need to work with more women.
Me
Why
too.
wasn't the cable guy wearing anything under his jumpsuit?
Right.
Yeah, tearaway pants, really?
Flexibility.
I don't.
He didn't even look at her cable.
Is the cable fixed?
Right.
Because I can't finish if the cable's not fixed.
Is she going to watch The View? I don't know.
And now we know why he's late to your house.
Right.
All right. You also get free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get 10 free gifts? Just go to adamandeve.com and use coupon code BNARMY. That's BNARMY. You won't be disappointed. Just like Rebecca.
Rebecca.
With her still broken cable.
Yeah. She was not disappointed. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got some beer news for you and more. Maybe the results of a Twitter game
feedback
that we never announced, as well as some feedback.
Feedback trolls.
Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be back in just about, 4 minutes.
You're listening to the Brewcasters.
Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
The National Homebrew Conference is coming up this summer, and More Beer wants to send you. To celebrate 20 years of serving homebrewers, More Beer is giving away 2 full pass registrations to the 2015 National Homebrew Conference, June 10th through 13th. That's right, 2 full passes, full access to all the presentations, club night, and pro brewers night, 2 seats to the grand banquet and awards ceremony, 2 one-year membership gift cards to the American Homebrewers Association, 4-night stay at the beautiful Town and Country Resort, round-trip airfare to and from the San Diego airport, 2 VIP passes to the Brewing Network's own anniversary party, a $250 prepaid Visa gift card for food and your other expenses, and dinner with the More Beer crew. Visit morebeer.com for all the details and to enter. You can enter once a day through April 15th, and the winner will be drawn on April 25th. If you've already purchased your registration to the event and seats to the grand banquet, those fees can be refunded. Enter today at morebeer.com.
Hey, dude, you know what beer this is?
Oh, no, all the labels are falling off.
Yeah, or the ink is run.
Well, if it's the pale ale, you're good, but stay away from the quote-unquote Belgian.
Oh, man, this guy needs to get some grog tags.
Grog tags are reusable, write-on, wipe-off, commercial-grade bottle labels for your brew. The guys at Grog Tag are homebrewers. They wanted great-looking, sturdy labels for your bottles, buckets, carboys, kegs, and growlers. They also wanted a label that not only looks good, but can be easily removed and reapplied during bottling without that nasty glue residue being left behind. No residue, water-resistant, and ice chest approved. Grog tags stay on in water or an ice chest, and they stay legible. Visit grogtag.com to customize your label or coaster from dozens of different templates for free and see how awesome your bottles can look.
It's that pseudo-Belgian.
Yeah, we're getting him some grog tags, dude.
Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good. grogtag.com.
Tonight is the night.
We bring the creature to life, Dr. Blickmingstein?
Yes, J.P. Gore. Everything is perfect for my next fermented creation.
My father, the storm is too far away. We'll never have enough power to isomerize the creature's alpha acid.
Yes, J.P. Gore, we will. For I have in my possession the Tower of Power.
Blickman's new Tower of Power is the evolution of automation. Control hot liquor, sparge, and mash temps like a pro. The Tower of Power is a high-quality gas-fired rim system that works with your current brewing setup. With ultra precision, the tower can hold your mash to 1/2 of a degree Fahrenheit. Precision and repeatability. The Tower of Power is the answer to automatic, fast ramp times. See more at BlickmanEngineering.com. Bring your next creation to life with the Tower of Power.
Dr. Blickmanstein, with the Tower of Power, you can probably give me an afternoon at the pub to enjoy a pint.
Don't be silly, J. Pegor. We have beer to brew.
What'd you get? More brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping?
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
Oh, the Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
Segmented, demented, fermented.
It's the session.
Yeah! Come on! Yeah!
Yeah.
Woo! All right, welcome back to the program. Just a couple things left to do, but they're good things. We got a little feedback. We're going to wrap up a Twitter game we never started, and we're going to do some beer news, and we get to talk a little Pico Brew.
That's right.
In my notes here too.
Yeah.
So let's do feedback real quick. Feedback is brought to you today by our good friend John over at Beer Law Center. You can go to beerlawcenter.com right now. He can protect your brand like he does the Hop Grenade. I haven't seen a Hop Grenade pop up in a little while, so John's killing it for us.
Good.
Go to beerlawcenter.com. Just a few things in the feedback this week. Several emails about Nicole on the on the Pizza Port
2 weeks
show
later?
A lot of people listen to the show 2 weeks
It takes
late.
a while.
Oh, really?
They catch up. And
okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to read them all, but Nicole had a few drinks on that program, and apparently a lot of people weren't a fan. We're not a fan.
Yeah.
Essentially, is the breakdown.
Dang!
Timmy.
So, even Michael Phelps wrote in one of them. So
Whoa.
I'm not kidding. I mean, signed to Michael Phelps.
You had to drop the bong in order to type.
That guy wrote into the Sour Hour, too.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised he's had enough motivation to write 2 emails. Impressive.
He's good at pole vaulting, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and smoking weed.
He went to Subway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
All right, Andrew writes in, hey, BN, I have an 8-gallon bourbon barrel.
Send me those emails, by the way. I want to read those.
The 8-gallon bourbon barrel one?
The Nicole ones?
Yeah.
Why?
That's curious.
Yeah, you're not going to read
I
them?
want to see if we're on the same page.
Oh, I see.
You're not going to read the emails? Just sum them up that way.
Well, they're all the same. I summed it up.
You summarized it pretty accurately.
I don't want to be rude to anybody.
Well, everybody listens, so they get it.
Yeah.
How rude can it be?
All right. Hey, BN, I have an 8-gallon bourbon barrel that I used a couple of times for aging beer. I haven't used the barrel since last spring. It's been in warm storage units and garages ever since.
Wait, are those separate?
Warm storage units and garages ever since. After last use, I rinsed it with a little sanitizer and bottled water. I don't know why.
Bottled water?
Yeah.
That's better than hose water, I guess.
I have kept a couple gallons of bottled water in it and turn it every couple of weeks to keep the staves damp. No sign of leaks. I was thinking about filling it with boiling water the day before I fill it. I'm a little concerned that so much time with just water may have done some damage. Thanks for any info. From Andrew. Beardy?
I mean, it depends on what you mean by damage. You might lose a little bit of flavor, but I mean, it's not
going to hurt the vessel.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily have high hopes for getting a clean beer out of it.
No.
Versus like if you're going to just make it a sour. If you're expecting to get a sour beer or a funky beer out of it, by all means, I think it would probably work fine. But I don't think you're going to get like a nice, clean bourbon barrel aged stout out of it.
Just because too much stuff lives in the wood?
Right. And at this point...
He's got a couple batches through it already.
Okay.
Right, you got a couple batches through it. Having it mostly... I mean, because it didn't sound like he had it full with even just water is not that great of a storage solution.
Right.
Okay.
You want something with a low pH. I mean, Jay talks about it on the Sour Hour, what his storage solution is.
The Santa Darius episode.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And so if you want to learn how to actually take care of your barrels beforehand, this guy's kind of a little late, but...
Listen to the Sour Hour Santa Darius show. Okay. All right. Thanks, Beardy.
I'd be more worried about it leaking.
Right, at least now he's not going to waste a lot of beer when he goes to fill it because it's hydrated.
Well, kind of. It's hydrated one side or the other. When you put beer in there, it starts leaking out the other side.
Yeah. There's two ways to hydrotest your barrel. One is to fill it up halfway and roll it over and fill up the other half, or you put hot water in it and you just make everything swell.
If he fills it with hot water beforehand, that will help seal it up quicker than just the bottled water that he has in it.
I put it in my my boil kettle with the false bottom, and I just steam it. And steams the outside, and it makes it swell.
Okay.
That would work too, yeah. For
sealing.
Then I don't wash all the barrel-y stuff out of it with hot water.
Yeah.
But Beardy's right. You're probably going to get a sour beer out of it.
Okay. All right, RC writes in, hey, I know everyone at the BN is working day and night to get the BN mobile app back in the Google Play Store.
We all are.
Did you remember this week?
Yes. He gives advice that if it's down, until it gets fixed, you can simply go to the BN homepage with a mobile device and click Listen Live, which is true. All the mobile app does currently is stream what is streaming anyway to your app, so you could do it through the website. That being said, it is back in the store. They canceled it and didn't tell me, and then told me, all you have to do is this. Great. You should tell people that.
Yeah.
And I'll do it. And
how much does it cost?
It's free. It's very free.
Oh. Unlike that first one?
Yeah.
That you still owe me for?
Yes. Yes. So go to Google Play or Android Market. I don't know what the hell you do.
Yeah.
Just go there and search BN Mobile, and it's there.
Do things.
Go somewhere, do something.
Yeah.
Click some stuff.
Yeah. And that's Nicole.
Wow. Really?
Oh.
Here's a good one from Justin. Justin writes in,
I know the guy.
I was just driving to work while listening to last week's session and heard Drunk Johnny explain how he broke his glasses, and I couldn't stop laughing. That was our drunk of the week, of course. He fell, ran into a door. I don't know.
Well, he was diagonal.
Yes.
And then he broke his glasses.
He stood up. Yeah, he was horizontal, then, whatever you said. It was funny.
Justin says, I couldn't see because I was crying and laughing so hard. I probably should have pulled over, but like a champ, I kept going.
Good man.
Yeah.
Like a dumb champ.
You got to power through it.
I'd like to thank the same theoretical spirit that helped him get drunk of the week for also helping me get to work without dying.
Good work.
Yeah, good feedback. And let's see. Here we go. Russ from Wisconsin writes in, look, he says.
Where?
Was it capital letters?
No, but anytime you start with... it's like me talking to you guys.
You better sit down.
Right, guys, look.
Okay.
And you always know, Jesus. Here we go again. All right, look, I've listened to you a bunch. I haven't learned shit.
In a while.
Although the main issue is being that I'm too lazy to brew. All of your douchiness aside, you should contact Dan over at New Glarus again. He's getting nutty with a dedicated brewery for sour beers. It would be better than another double IPA that nobody gives a shit about. JP, punch somebody, he says. Okay, Doc took the brunt of that one.
Yeah.
I've recently discovered Epic's Brainless on Peaches and Elder Brett in one night back to back to back to back. Forgive my direct nature. What is happening?
What?
Rambling, yes. Fuck off. Bevo, I'm sure you're cooler than these cock fencers make you feel. And I'm out. Russ.
Awesome.
You would think that
I don't know what that is.
the medium of email would lend itself very well to filtering out stuff to prevent you from rambling.
Because you have to type.
Like there's one key on the keyboard.
And that's
that could
just
even
send. It's record and then send.
So wait, is that like fencing in the proper sense, but with your penises.
But with wieners.
That was fancy.
So it would be
No, it's we all get boners and lay down, and we create a barrier.
Oh.
So the dog
boner
can't get
fence?
out.
It's like a little white picket fence.
Yeah.
So that Doc can't get out?
The dog.
Oh. So that Doc can't get out. It's like a little Doc playpen.
Thanks.
Playpen of boners.
Yeah. It might as well be an electric fence because I ain't touching that shit.
He's not going near that.
Okay. If anybody out there has any artistic abilities, please draw this.
Draw us a Doc
and send
boner
it in.
playpen.
Yes. My favorite part is when he rattles the cage door.
Yeah. Now available from Hasbro. Ages 55 and up only. All right, Chris from Michigan writes in, hello. Last week you read an email from my friend Goose on the show. I'm one of the 2 people JP felt was too many people to mention, so he edited out.
Yeah.
You said there was a bunch of people.
2?
Well, it was, and this is why I didn't want to say it, because it's that douche Goose. He's like, I'm going to go on a trip with myself, my uncle Jeremy blah, 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 who lives in Ontario, and then my other friend Gary Sinise, who doesn't live in Ontario, and is kind of shorter, so he has to sit in the front. So it's just this rambling thing, so I cut it out.
All right.
Now I
he's
shouldn't
upset.
have.
Now you got Maverick and Iceman busting your chops.
All I want to do is play volleyball.
Yeah.
He says, I know Memorial Day is an important 3-day weekend for many people, but I'm coming in from Michigan for a wedding, which is what precipitated this trip, where we plan to be at the Hop Grenade Monday night.
Right. Do you really need to know that he's coming in from Michigan for a wedding? No.
Does it really say precipitated?
Yes. Awesome. I'm wondering if there's any chance someone would be willing to do a show on that Monday night. I want to be honest.
No.
Guy who knows Goose, there's no fucking chance.
Sorry.
That night, it will be a once-in-a-lifetime chance for me to catch the magic, which I enjoy via podcast, up close and personal.
Maybe see what precipitates out.
Maybe a Dr. Homebrew show.
No.
I can bring in some homebrew to contribute.
No.
Or a sour hour.
No.
The magic up close really just looks like herpes.
I just finished aging my first 2 sour brews and would love some hints from Jay.
How about ears up?
Yeah, I'll do an ears up show for you
on Memorial Day.
Thanks for all you do for us homebrewers and beer enthusiasts. You guys are amazing, Chris.
I wonder if we're still amazing.
Yeah, sorry, bro. We just, we can't just invent a show out of thin air. You think this stuff just happens? I mean, it's magic.
Yeah, we'll already have. I mean, I think we'll already have all those shows already recorded. So there's unfortunately,
we got those cardboard cutout things, right?
We'll put the cardboard cutouts in here. Yeah. We'll all be face down drunk somewhere else.
Right.
I do highly recommend coming in, though. It's a nice little place.
It would be pretty funny to get cardboard cutouts of the back of me tasting Moscow and profile of Justin.
That's a great idea.
Just a window screen.
Just put them in the seats. Oh yeah, just do the window, the film. That's a great
film.
We can paint it on the back of our the drape there, whatever the shade.
Oh yeah, just pull it down.
The drape. No, do the cardboard cutout thing. Then up front they got these little strings that make us move once in a while.
It's like maybe every time they pull a tap to pour a beer, one of us moves.
Right. Like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, it'll probably be much more entertaining.
That's how I'm going to end up here. Actually.
Weekend at Tasty's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't get out of this show when you die, Tasty.
Yeah. We have blobbers at Texas.
You're ours forever, man.
They'll stuff the shit out of you.
If we made a parody video, like if Push directed a video of Weekend at Tasty's, and we did a couple of just scene for scene, it would be gold. We got to do that.
All right, that's your feedback for today, brought to you by BeerLawCenter.com. Thanks, everybody, for writing in. You can send your feedback over to feedback@thebrewingnetwork.com.
What about the scene where the woman makes love to Tasty's corpse?
Oh.
This is classic.
What?
You don't remember that scene?
That's like a live shot right now.
Turn his microphone off.
I think that was Weekend at Necrophiliacs.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Somebody banged Bernie?
Yeah.
In part 1?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Remember the guy's looking upstairs and it's the silhouette of the woman. She's like riding him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. I do sort of.
I'll pull it up.
You'll see.
All right. Why don't we do some beer news? Can we do that?
Well, can I look up this YouTube clip for it?
No. All
right. Yeah.
It's not going to make for good radio anyway.
I think.
Are you kidding me?
All right. Let's do beer news. Go ahead. What do we got today?
Fine.
Let's start it off with a follow-up story. If you guys maybe remember back in September, I reported that armed robbers had tied up employees and stole more than $10,000 from the Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild's exhibit at the Minnesota State Fair.
I do remember.
I think I ended the news with it just like to depress everybody before we signed off. But the police said that it was the first armed robbery of a vendor in the State Fair's history, and it happened like 11 p.m. Friday night as the Friday night session was ending, and that the employees were basically tied up, and a gunman and a bunch of his cohorts made off with the money. Yes, thugs.
Oh, they got away?
Yes, they got away. But so now here's the follow-up story.
You were? At the State Fair that night.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good story, Warren.
Well,
right. I mean,
you and Bevo should tell
it paid
stories
for
to
my
each other.
trip. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I was there.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they haven't arrested you yet, but they did arrest. They say the fourth, and now they think they've caught all four, so that's good. The fourth and final suspect was charged in federal court for last year's Minnesota State Fair beer exhibition robbery. The guy pleaded guilty. The federal indictment was filed in October. It charged Jordan Strickland, age 23, Antonio Washington, age 21, Jarrett Maiden, age 35, and Elijah Branson, age 20, all from St. Paul, for interfering with commerce by robbery. Strickland and Maiden were also charged with using a gun during a crime of violence. So Maiden was an employee of the Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild exhibit, and he saw a chance to make some money, apparently. So
why do they have to qualify robbery with something else? Interfering with commerce by robbery.
Robbery.
I mean, who gives a
Because it makes it a federal crime.
I see. Because
robbery can't be a federal crime?
Not on its own.
No.
Apparently.
Because they don't care about robbery.
Silly, yeah. All right, go ahead.
Elijah was a Amish dude, right?
Yeah. So he was an employee of the guild.
Yeah, it was an inside job.
That's effed up.
Now, the indictment does not detail Branson's alleged role, but court documents refer to an unnamed accomplice who helped plan the robbery and enlisted the help of these other two guys, Washington and Strickland. So the robbery took place, like I said, Friday night, August 29th, 2014, after hours, while an employee was counting the day's proceeds. Washington walked in, pointed a gun at the man, and demanded the money. Strickland, acting as a lookout, helped bind the employee and a second victim to chairs with duct tape. The two men allegedly made off with about $10,500 in cash. The day's sales.
That's not a lot of money.
It was
federal prison.
It was 1 day sales. Yeah, I know, right? Very small payout for the risk.
If you're going to rob something, go big.
Well, and that seems crazy to me because that building was in the middle of the state fairgrounds.
Really?
So they robbed them. How do they get out of the whole grounds without someone being like, hey, those guys just robbed?
Well, they tied everybody
They
up.
duct tape as they go.
Cheers.
Yeah. Wow.
Everyone that was still there.
On the way out.
Everyone on the way out.
Well, F them. I say execute them.
Death penalty.
Yeah. Deep fry him at the next state fair.
Waterboarding.
So I wonder,
federal, right?
You guys think he gets to keep his job at the Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild? It's like, hey, none of us are perfect. I just made a mistake.
Well, maybe you should try to run for that open seat.
That's
at
right.
the AHA.
Yeah, new governing committee member.
Well, good riddance to bad rubbish. Enjoy your time in prison, fellas.
Yeah.
Now, Carlsberg is trying to make the sound of clinking beer bottles a thing of the past. Now, what does that mean? They're developing the world's first fully biodegradable bottle for beer that would be made with sustainable wood fiber. So it's under development now, and they're saying it won't hit the store shelves till probably 2018, so they got a good 3 years of R&D.
First fermenters made out of cardboard and now wooden bottles?
What is happening?
Ridiculous.
The aim is to replace glass bottles in aluminum containers. And what makes it a possible game changer is that it's created in one piece with an inner coating which will prevent leaks and would allegedly give beer the same shelf life as those packaged in traditional material. All materials used, including the cap, would be developed with biodegradable materials, primarily the sustainably wood sustainably sourced wood fibers. Jesus, I don't even know what I'm reading.
I think it's probably recycled Priuses and stuff.
So if the coating is
made out of lithium ion,
if the coating is biodegradable, how would it increase the shelf life past the wood fiber?
I don't know. Shut up, Beardy. It doesn't matter.
Well, it might have like a 12-year, degrade time or something.
Yeah,
that shit.
I don't know.
I aged my Carlsberg for 15 years.
Right? Like it's a bottle shape.
I just hate the earth, so let's keep glass and aluminum coming.
That's right.
Yeah, what is it giving you?
Right.
Yeah, it is a bottle shape, but the containers are not clear, and they would be soft to the touch. So it would literally feel like kind of a soft wood fiber. Apparently.
Soft wood is never good.
No, never. Sure is.
Contradictory.
Exactly.
So you could throw these in the fireplace or something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Is it?
Kindling.
Spare the air day. Hello?
Right. Damn it.
You can't
hate the earth.
God, you can't do anything in this world.
That polypropylene liner's going to kill everybody in the room.
Real healthy.
Wow.
Well, I have a quote from the company's senior vice president for corporate affairs, but forget it. It doesn't mean anything. So I don't know.
Not
Look,
to us.
maybe in 3 years we'll have wooden beer bottles on the shelf. Sustainable wood.
As opposed to non-sustainable.
Sustainable wood.
That comes in a pill bottle.
Little blue
They already solved that problem.
Right.
Tasty hasn't heard that term for 10 years.
Small blue bottles.
All right, and finally, our friends, speaking of Pico Brew, our friends there have launched a new campaign on Kickstarter,
Really?
which, just like their last one, already blown way past its $100,000 goal. They're at 133 and change from 196 backers, which is 681 per donator. So once again, we got some deep-pocketed individuals contributing to the Pico Brews campaign.
What now? You just think about a beer and it makes it?
Poof, there it is on your counter.
I love this company.
No, then you're instantly drunk already.
Think about a beer, drunk.
And then the tip's already been paid.
God, I love this company.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. It's like a smart kegerator. So now you can brew the beer with the Pico Brew, and then you can put it on tap in your smart kegerator. So it's got like a digital display above the tap. It shows you how much is left in the kegs, what's on the kegs, and everything's in the cloud, and you can communicate with other people's kegerators. It's a smart kegerator.
It's not like smart enough to cut me off, is it?
Hopefully not.
Because that'd be jacked up.
Yeah. That's a dumb kegerator.
Stupid smart kegerator.
Right.
Kate the Great's upstairs going, well, that'll be enough.
Shutting them off.
God damn it!
Yeah, you're like that lab rat keeps pushing that button.
Yeah, this is the stupidest kegerator ever!
So they're saying you can locate new craft beers for your kegerator on this thing, host your own brew house portal on the web, set exact beer serving temperatures, see how many servings you have left, see brewer, brew date, ingredients, other information, read tasting notes, read and write reviews.
Wow.
And even notify your friends when you put in your beer on tap. So this kegerator knows you better than you know you.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you hook up a card swipe for the
Oh, yeah, to get a beer?
neighbors?
Yeah.
Well, so you know
That's a good idea, Tasty.
Yeah.
Especially if it notifies your friends when you put
my
in
new
your
card swipe here, right?
Jeez, yeah.
RFID tag, you just swipe.
Yeah,
right.
It phones the neighbors for you.
Janet's Brown's on tap, kids. Get your RFID.
And the garage door opens automatically.
This is a very smart kegerator.
Well, these guys are taking over the brewing world. My dad just started using his Pico Brew over the
Nice.
weekend. He did his first couple batches on that thing. So before you know it, everyone who was home brewing before will just be Pico Brewing.
I want it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the news brought to you by nobody. If you want to sponsor the Beer News, email me, Scott@thebrewingnetwork.com, and hopefully I'll be more articulate when you pay me to do it.
That's right.
So, Justin, do you think you could, even with Pico Brew, you could still fuck it up?
I don't know. JP, you've been using it. I think JP has to. Could I still screw up a batch of Pico Brew?
Well, I did.
Okay.
And I'm really smart.
You're better than me. You beat me in the challenge.
Yeah, so last month when we last checked in with the Pico Brew exploits, I brewed a double batch ESB, hit the numbers, everything was great, and then I transferred it and I killed my siphon several times because I'm not used to doing it or whatever. I still don't really know what happens. And then after 20 minutes of sucking on the hose, I just I decided just to pour the carboy into the keg.
Okay.
And oxidated the shit out of my beer. It tasted really good coming out of the fermenter. I was really stoked about it, but I ruined it. I totally ruined my beer.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
So, shut up, Warren. You don't even know.
Yep.
Oh, I tasted the ruined beer.
He knows that part.
I know that part.
So, in a couple weeks, I'm going to brew again. And I'm going to be better at siphoning because that really is just what killed me.
I can show you how gravity works.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Amazing.
It's all in the suck, like it's that initial suck.
Well, I did that, and then the thing would just die. So I'm getting air in somewhere. So I think I'm going to put like a worm clamp on the from the on the tube where it connects to the actual racking cane arm. That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay,
but I'm so fucking pissed.
Stick the hose deeper in your mouth next time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You got to go deeper.
Right, yeah.
Like just when you start to gag, a little deeper.
Okay.
You gotta relax your throat.
A deep inhale.
Just relax. Okay.
Just
all right.
Try to relax.
I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
You guys have been Burning Man. That's cool.
Well, it sounds like if you want to see the Pico Brew in action, you can come to our brew day at Heretic on March 7th.
I will drag it out there.
We're teaming up with Quaff, and let's see that Pico Brew at work.
Yeah, I'm going to. We might even do a double batch.
Because you can do that while the rest of our schleps are...
You can watch the Pico Brew work, and JP sit next to it.
Yeah.
You're just going to bring a magazine and a lawn chair and the Pico Brew, aren't you?
Yeah.
Shh, I'm brewing. Don't talk to me.
Actually, bring a full recliner and just put your feet up.
But I'm stoked because I want to brew the same recipe again.
Yeah.
I already have it loaded in my library, which is on the cloud. So when I go to Heretic Brewing and dial up on their Wi-Fi, it'll pull
You think we have open Wi-Fi?
You will. Pull the recipe down from my library into the machine.
From the cloud?
From the cloud. And it has it all stored right in there. And I don't have to do anything. I don't need to bring my brew log. I don't need to do anything like that. It's all based online. It's all within essentially it's a computer.
I need it.
That makes beer for you.
You got to have Wi-Fi.
You have several windows where you
but
can
you don't
still
have
mess
to
it
have
up.
Wi-Fi because
you do it offline?
You only have to have Wi-Fi if you want to sync a new recipe.
Oh, but you can download it.
You can store them on there. Yeah.
But you can store it on there, and so it has that same recipe within the unit.
Oh.
And if you don't have Wi-Fi, there's an Ethernet plug.
Wow.
You can jack right in.
He said unit.
But no, you can go brew in the backcountry if you want, as long as you sync it up before. So you can turn on your machine, sync up your recipes. If you don't think you're going to have internet where you're going to brew with this thing, then unplug it and take it off somewhere, and your recipe is in the machine.
Pico Brew off the grid.
Yeah, comes with snow tires.
Yeah,
sounds great.
So I'm excited about it. It'll be the first time I can actually hit my numbers twice in a row. It'll be good.
Yeah. If only you can suck the beer out of it.
Just got to get this siphoning thing down.
Yeah. Bev, will you come help me siphon later?
Wait, let me get this straight. Yeah. So the only thing that you have to do manually is the thing that you jacked up.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, and I felt so dumb. I had Warren try it. I was like, I screwed this up, didn't I? He's like, yeah. Why?
And he said you had your mouth on that already.
All right. Well, this is all wonderful. Everything's great.
Yeah, great.
Sounds great. Pico Brew is awesome. All right. Before we wrap things up, we'll learn about our Twitter game. I forgot to tell you about this. We've set up a new hotline.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know that a lot of you are upset about us not doing Drunk of the Week calls anymore. Now, I will remind you that we will always take drunk calls. We even appreciate them.
Case in point, last week.
Yeah, exactly. We're just not doing some formal competition each and every week. But we also realize that some of you like to have your drunkenness on other nights than Monday, and we wanted you to be able to participate too. So now there is a Drunk of the Week hotline that you can call anytime and leave your Drunk of the Week message.
Even Australia time?
Even Australia time. You can call 24 hours a day, 855-WIN-DOTW.
Wow.
This is not a joke. You can call, just remember that, put it in your phone right now, 855-WIN-DOTW. Win Drunk of the Week. That's 855-WIN-DOTW. Leave us a message. We'll take the calls. We're going to play them on the air.
Some of them.
If we get good ones.
Yeah.
So it sort of eliminates the thing about the segment we didn't like, which was...
A lot of you sucked.
Yeah. So now you can record multiple ones. I don't care. Get it right. And
can I send a graphic to that number?
No graphics, unfortunately.
I guess
Involve your friends.
Are the messages timestamped?
Remember,
we know
used to
if
get
this is some guy like 11 a.m.?
Yes.
So we'll be able to know?
Yes.
Awesome.
So you're going to want to call in, leave us your drunken message. You can still win Drunk of the Week by calling 855-WIN-DOTW. How fun is that, guys?
That's going to be cool.
Doc, did you write the number down?
No. What is it again?
It's number 1 on the speed dial.
WIN-DOTW. Drunk of the Week.
Well, the problem with that is I'm probably not going to be able to dial it.
Also, you have to press 1 when you get into the call. It's like for DOTW, press 1. For Bevo, press 2. For
Bevo,
we'll see who gets more messages.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
I
need to screen all of those calls before you put them on the air.
Yeah. All right, so call the hotline, leave us your Drunk of the Week. Hey, JP, what was our Twitter game today?
Our Twitter game was, so I was talking to you about this new ad I saw for Stella Artois, and they call their drinking glass a chalice.
Yeah.
Which I think is incredibly snobbery and douchey. They're not sponsored, right?
It's the easy way.
Okay, not yet.
No. And so it got me thinking, Stella has the chalice. Orval has like that goblet thing, right? Mm-hmm. What would home brewers drink out of? What should we call our serving vessels?
The palace.
The sack.
The sack. We got some of those.
All right, what did we get from the Twitter sphere?
Our good friend J-Bone says you should call it a garbage can.
Are you sure you didn't write that one in?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Although,
Or the drain.
Or the drain.
Or the carpet.
Beer Master Ben says if it's Justin's homebrew, it should be served in a carpet.
Okay, there you go, Doc.
Art Chandler says toilet.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he has to go to or... Well,
is it toilet or turlet? What did he write?
He wrote toilet, but he put a period
so
as if it was a full sentence.
Toilet.
Yeah, toilet. Marcus Harton says a pimp cup, my brothers.
I own one of those.
There you go. M.N. Dust Clouds says the dildo mold, but you should get JP's wiener out of it first.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. Bob at Cold Steel Inc. says it shouldn't be served in anything from the carboy straight down the drain.
Wow.
Michelle Palmer says serve it in all those leftover B&N Summerfest glasses.
Yeah, there's a few.
It's pretty good.
There's enough for every carboy in America.
Every single home brew.
Right. Pete DeDink says it should be served in a glass other than mine.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty good. Dustin Jennings writes, glasses with a trap door so you can dump it discreetly, which I think is
that's a real idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say, even in here sometimes, like if we have a guest or whatever, and sometimes I'll dump the beer. Not always because it's bad. Sometimes I'm just not. It's an Imperial whatever, and I got to drive.
Yeah.
But I feel really bad. Like I'm always looking and making sure they've gone all the way around the corner before I dump it in here.
Yeah.
A little dumpy at the bottom would be perfect.
Genius.
Yeah.
But the beer goes somewhere. How does that help? It's going to splatter on the floor.
No, I could have like a dump bucket down here, and I'm holding it, and all of a sudden,
it's the angle where it's like you see the turn of your hand.
The motion.
Someone sees that. But if you got one of those things like at the dentist office where you just spit in, the right there you just push on a foot pedal and then go dump it out.
Well, I don't have to hear any more. That's the winner.
Genius. See? There you go. Well, we have two more. All
right.
You can fit two more, I'm sure. Keith Allen says homebrew should be served in a stainless steel goblet insulated by brewers' beard pelts to keep the perfect serving temperature.
That's disgusting.
Yep. And
Can you imagine holding a hairy
beard pelt?
It touches your lips.
I think Carlsberg's coming out with a hairy beer bottle.
Yeah, it's biodegradable.
Right.
By the way, Bevo just described what it's like to kiss us all. And we were like, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Who does that?
Hair on your lip?
Except Sam.
Yeah.
Except Sam.
Sam doesn't have facial hair.
No, he had a couple of hairs last time I saw him.
Does he even have bodily hair? I mean, anywhere?
Bodily hair.
Yeah. He was born like powder. He has got nothing.
Naked mole rat.
Yeah, he's a mole
He's a mole
rat.
man. Last but not least, Matt Smith says a cup of lies that makes your friends say, wow, best beer ever. You should go pro.
Cup of lies.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad.
All right, I still like bottom dump.
Trapdoor. Yeah.
Trapdoor.
Honorable mention to the Summerfest glasses.
Yeah, true that.
There you go. Good job, everybody.
All right, that was a great Twitter game, and you're all a lot of fun. We like it. All right, don't forget to call 855-WIN Drunk of the Week. And also, we've got lots of shows here on the BN if you don't know about them, and some of them airing this week. Dr. Homebrew, I believe. The Sour Hour just posted. I just put up, I believe, 6 episodes of Brew Strong, a couple episodes of The Jamil Show, Brewing with Style. So lots of content here on the BN. Don't forget about our other wonderful shows, and a couple of other ones we're working on that you'll learn about.
But not on Memorial Day weekend.
But not. Actually, maybe that's something I could pull. No, I doubt it. That means someone still has to be here to do things.
It's only Bev.
Which just isn't.
I'm going to be in another country.
Wow. What country are you going to?
Canada.
Oh, right. Are you going to see, what's his name?
Blobber?
Yeah, that's his name.
No, he's going to be on the other coast. I'm going to the West Coast.
What are you doing in Canada?
Going to Victoria.
Gonna get a new
Girls
liver.
trip.
Is this another, like,
We're
Twilight
not
thing
going
or
to.
something?
No, we're completely bypassing that crap and just having an adult, fun, childless trip.
I see. You're
going to go look for McDonald's.
In Canada, that's where you picked?
In Canada.
Yeah, I love it there.
Not like,
It's cleaner
San
than
Francisco.
Mexico.
No.
Whatever.
All right, next week on the program, we've got author William Bostwick in. His book, A Brewer's Tale. I've read through a good portion of it, not all of it. But it's I actually interviewed him for the Commonwealth Club, and a great guy with a good story and a good book. So tune in next week, William Bostwick. Come down, see us at the Hop Grenade if you want. I think he'll be in studio with us.
Yes, he is in studio.
You might get a signed book if you want to.
Books on tape.
It's a good book. He does have a book on tape, yes. So yeah, come check us out next week right here on the BN.
For your non-literate brewers.
Have I done everything I'm supposed to do? I feel like I have. I feel like we're good.
Yes, we're good.
All right, solid. All right, JP, why don't you get us out of here, will you?
Please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. New Helvetia Brewing from Sacramento came down and shared the struggle with us. Thanks to them. Follow JP on Twitter at MajorJip. And if you're any kind of Disneyland fan, support JP's new endeavor, Cov Ears. Go to getcovears.com for the best way to find your Disney park style and customize that classic Mickey Mouse ear hat, you dummy. Yay! Warren was here, freshly showered, but not freshly shorn. For some good beer inside and home brew info, follow Nate Smith and Nathan Homebrew and Mike McDowell at Tasty McD. Yay! Production restaurant on the Session has been Shasha. Today's show has been produced by Shasha. JP drank beer under 4% all night, although it doesn't really show. Blah, 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 blah. Instagram.
Yay!
Yeah, yeah, yeah. JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and